What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and welcome to the Kunimitsu tier list. Kuni was released not long ago. We've all been able to play against her, some of us have played her, she's very strong. So I wanted to make a new tier list considering Kuni, but also considering, you know, there's been so many changes to the characters as of late. I'm just gonna show you my tier list. This is what it looks like, so this is just my opinion. It is ordered, but again, take everything with a grain of salt. This will be a long recording. I'm gonna explain to you how I feel about every single character in the game. I will also be demonstrating gameplay, showing you the moves, the frame data, to try and explain to you what makes them so strong or what makes them on the weaker side of a roster. I've changed my mind on a lot of things lately, and I've had quite a different mental. You remember I made a video where I talked about how we as a Tekken community, we can be a bit insufferable at times, and I thought a lot about that and how I conduct myself on stream and sort of how I can whine about certain characters. And just looking back at that, I feel a bit displeased about it. And I'm trying to hold myself to a higher standard now. And like, I just look at the game a bit differently now. You know, I made a difficulty tier list a couple of weeks ago where I said, oh, 100% respect on these characters, the very difficult ones. And at the bottom, it's like, oh, this is super easy, blah, blah, blah. And I just feel like I don't know how productive such a conversation is. Should we start should we shit on people a ton because they play a certain character? It seems very stupid, just very stupid to me. So I don't know, rather than saying I'm, you know, thinking about the community here, I'm just thinking about my own part, like what am I doing on my end? And I have a pretty sizable role in this community, I think. So it's like, I mean, what can I do to maybe have a more productive community, you know? So I'm just looking at things a little bit differently. Hope that's okay. And also, I have a second channel now. It's called Scrapman. I'm gonna chill a bit for that one now. I'll be posting quite a bit of videos to that channel, especially a lot of guides and all of the characters you see on the screen. If you're interested in knowing how to beat them, how to play against them, I'll be making very detailed guides on that, as I am labbing like a madman lately, trying to get God 7 on Kazuya. I really want to grow as a player. And that means I also have to stop bitching and whining about quite a few of these characters. But sorry for the long-winded intro. This tier list is going to be based on the highest level. So how do these characters perform? There are no weak characters in this game. That's why I make a point here of saying strongest at the top, and then strongest specialist characters, and then very strong, and then strong is as weak as you go in this game. Typically I say, you know, oh, Devil Jin's unplayable, he's worthless. He's not. He still has electric, arguably best move in the game, into a fuck ton of damage. He still has a crazy spike wall combo. He still has shackle. But like, no character's unplayable. Every single character in this game is competitive. You can kick anyone's ass. You can beat knee with any of these characters. It's gonna come down to you as a player. With these latest patches, the game is actually quite balanced, in my opinion. But so anyway, at the top there, you have strongest with Dragunov, Victor, Lidia, Kuni, Law, King, and Alisa. And then below them, I have strongest specialist characters in their own little tier there. We have Bryan, Nina, Yoshi, and Lee. The reason for this distinction, and this might puzzle some of you, because, you know, Bryan and Nina, you could argue they are top 1 and top 2. You wouldn't be wrong, in my opinion. It's subjective. But the reason I put them slightly below there is due to the amount of work that goes into playing these characters. They are not pick up and play, which is why someone like Ash, you know, will say like, oh my god, Bryan is undisputed top 1. You know, he said that forever, but he doesn't play Bryan himself, and that's because the character requires a tremendous amount of work. So now we're gonna start with who I consider to be the best character in the game, and it is Dragunov. Dragunov has far above average movement. Like, he has a strong backdash, and he has like very strong side steps. You see how he zooms a little bit when I start sidewalking. Having good movement and good side steps, golden in this game, where people are bum rushing you down with pressure, and quite often the counterplay is to sidestep. So you combine this amazing movement with down for 2, which is a long range launcher, right? It is -12 on block, but again, this is a mid launcher. Down for 2 at launchers, crouchers. So if they're trying to, you know, duck you or step duck, like down for 2 blows them up. And then basically it comes down to 1-2, down 2, while running 2. This is the base of the character, and these moves are very good. Like, while running 2 is +4 on block. Counter it launcher for absurd damage. And then you have down 2, which is one of the best lows in the game due to hitting grounded, being very fast startup at 18. Dragunov ducks down when he does it. It has evasion. And it is also pseudo homing. So unless your name is Lili, Russia 40, you are just not stepping this. So it might not have a homing trail, something to indicate it is homing, but you should consider this move homing. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, we have 1-2, but more importantly, 1-2-1. So what a good Dragunov will do here is that he'll run around with his jab here, 10-frame startup, and he'll do 1-2. And he has long limbs in general, Sergey. High mid, meaning this cannot be ducked. He kind of safe no matter what. He's -9 on block here. If they see you pressing into this, they will add the last hit. This is a Twitch confirm. You do 1-2, you know you're gonna get a counter hit. You see them press into it. You add the last hit, and kablam, I have a full heat bar, and I did 34 damage to you. This is arguably the best button in the game. If this hits at the wall, it is game over, because Dragunov uniquely has this wall throw. Bagoosh into this wall combo, and it is 1,000,000 damage. That's 84 damage from a confirmable 10-frame wall splat. He's so all-around, has a perfect throw game, has amazing strings. Like this being safe while setting free is very strong. Back 4 is one of the best strings in the game. You can do back 4 free into wall splat. So that's a safe on block mid-high, right? Can be mixed with back 4 2, which is delayable, which is a safe mid option, where you can go into sneak if he wants to and start throwing sneak 4, which is +7 on block. If he thinks you're gonna disrespect, he can try and throw the last hit, which counter hits into this, into wall splat. He even has a full crouch mix with down forward 1-4, like so. Natural can be mixed with while standing free, of course, which is a safe wall splat. Anytime you get a heat engage or post season 2, you can do that into crouch, so you can throw that mix. There's a lot to this character, but it's extremely strong. But really pushing him over the top is the pigeon roll mix that he has, especially in heat. It leads to a very, very toxic mix-up. Few characters are allowed now, post season 3, where they have tried to gut heat on a lot of characters. Dragunov remains kind of toxic in that he'll do this wall combo like this. He pancake flips you into Oki. And here he does a pigeon roll. And here the Dragunov player can react to that. If you stay on the ground, he'll do pigeon roll 2 to knock you over yet again. That hits grounded, is safe on block, and wall splat. So I do this. I'm safe. That will wall splat if you get up into a duck. There's a low mix here, right? And it will hit you if you're on the ground. But a good Dragunov will react to this, so that if he sees you get up, he'll do the tackle. The tackle here is untechable. This means that this cannot be broken. So as soon as this hits you, and this eats up some of his heat bar, but he can still do, on a full heat bar, Dragunov can do this 3 times. And this is a straight-up freeway mix where you guess rock, paper, scissors. Is it a 1 break, 2 break, or a 1+2 break? This Oki situation is straight-up busted. The only thing you can do to get out of this situation is here, when he flips you like this, and you land on your belly, here, with very strict timing, tap up once to quick stand, and then press 4 to do a while standing 4. This will interrupt this mix-up. But it's very, very difficult to do. It's very strict. I even drop it quite a bit. And if you drop it, counter hit wall splat into the wall and you die, right? And Dragunov also has strong punishment. Any low he blocks, you know, most lows are -12 above. He gets a full heat bar with while standing 1+2, which is also extremely strong. For these reasons, I do consider him the strongest character in the game. And just his combos are just so good. Like, even in the neutral... That's a blue spark. But, you know, this is 100 damage without a wall. And even then, you know, Dragunov can opt, instead of doing that ender, he can opt for something like this tailspin into tackle mix-up, like even in the neutral. The combos are 11 out of 10 as well. All of this combined, best character in the game as far as I'm concerned. So the next character we're going to talk about is Victor. So again, I've put him in top 2, but you can see him as like top 2, top 5. I do think the character is very overtuned. So this is a character that has been buffed since season 2. I don't know why he was buffed. And just like Dragunov, he's like ultra toxic at the wall, where for some reason he gets to keep the most bullshit like heat vortex in the game. Every other character had it nerfed, but he keeps this. Can do this multiple times over and over. It's a super plus. Nothing you can do. It hits grounded. On block, it kills you with chip damage. He's +5 every time it connects on your guard. If it hits, you die. As a mix-up, he has EI down 1+2, which is an infinity range hell sweep. Like, I'm not joking. Infinity range hell sweep, which is homing. Again, you don't see a homing trail, but make no mistake, there is no sidewalking this. And it knocks you right back into the ground with your back towards Victor, which is also very, very bad. Victors will also mix you, also in EI stance here with down 1. Wall splats, neutral block, hits grounded. Unbelievably toxic heat. Also has the best wall travel in the game. It's him, Lars, or Kuni. His down for 2 has exceptional range. It is -14 on block like Kuni's, but exceptional range. So him and Kuni are quite similar here, but yeah, note the range of this. He's a very long range character in general. He's a tall guy, long limbs again, just like Dragunov. So his down back 4, which is like Lars, you know, launch punishable on block, evasive, counter it launching low. He does have a luxury of having a lot of range on that. But again, forward 1+2, very long range, plus on block heat engager, +3. While standing 2 is a very powerful counter it launch button. Note that this character also has the luxury of like a lot of like dagger attacks like Kuni, so they cannot be parried, they cannot be low parried. In neutral, he's gonna mix you with while running 2, which he can do into EI for a +5. This is step to the right, but it's super hard to do. It is just, I can almost never get the timing on it. I almost stop sidestepping because you're meant to step that to the right, but if he has any timing, the Victor player, you're just not stepping it. +5 into EI, and then he mixes you in EI. This one is a classic. +3 on block there, unless you duck the second hit, but he has a ton of mix-ups from there. Like EI 1-1, for example, which wall splats. Or again, this one. It can even stomp you in EI, which is really awkward. +4. Threat of follow-up. That's super awkward. He has while running 1+2 for a while running low, +4 into EI. Very strong counter hitting, neutral fundamental play. Has stance rush down. Has while running 50-50 mix-ups. Has some of the best combos in the game. Fantastic down for 2. And again, most likely actually the most toxic wall pressure in the game. This is his new attack since season 3. Again, I don't know why they gave him this move. It's a chargeable move. If I just do up back 2, it's a 17 frame dagger. Note the range of this button, by the way. Do you see the range? Tracks to his weak side. Step right. -5 on block, right? Can be charged or on counter hit. 44 damage. Can be charged. Now it knocks down on normal hit. Is +3 on block. And is a counter hit launcher. And again, it distracts to his weak side. All of this combined, Victor is very, very strong. It also has to be said that like Dragunov is a character that is a little bit more on the specialist side of things. Victor can be piloted by pretty much anyone. This, you know, adds to his strength as a character, in my opinion. The next character we are going to talk about is Lidia. I've put her in top 3. So Lidia has been nerfed in the latest patch. It was a very, very important nerf. So the arms go up like this. And here she has a 2-button. This one, that used to be +6. An opponent is right in her face. And this led to an infinite mix-up when she was in heat. You are just guessing and blocking. You're not guessing, you're just blocking and you're dying because she has an unblockable here. But this was made with the latest patch, +2 instead of +6, and with significantly more pushback on block. So now you get breathing room and you're not stuck in an infinite loop. Thank God, so this has made her a little bit healthier, but she still remains an unbelievably strong character. So her heat is a joke, in short. Still a joke, I would say, even with this nerf. But so when she's in her neutral state like this, what Lidias do is they spam back 2, which is a very decent range and quite fast mid-heat engager. It's very good. Even the top players just spam this. Why? Because it is +2 on block. Yes, that's a mid-heat engager. Fast. Good range. That is +2 on block. So if I do this, it is my turn, right? And then we have 4-4-2, which is a fantastic neutral button. Note that this can be beaten by sidestepping, some well-timed sidesteps. +15 into mix. If it counter hits, you will be eating a heat engager like this. And now you're dealing with the most obnoxious heat in the game. In general, Lidia players will never use heat burst. So they get like 60, 65, 70% of their heat bar. They will always land a heat engager on you and get a full heat bar for maximum infinity bullshit in heat. And this is because she kind of has the best heat engagers in the game. I think it's her or Dragunov. Because she also blocks any low. Note this. Any low, even with pushback. You know, this is 12 frames, this elbow. So any low, even with pushback, chunk, I have a full heat bar. You whiff anything. I have a full heat bar. Oh, I do my huge homing kick. Like, note the range of this homing. You'll see pros spam this all the time because it is +5 on block into stats, right? Into mix. But on hit, on normal hit, I yet again get this. Gauge. Full heat bar. And again, my +2. Full heat bar. It is just the best heat engagers in the game. Another key move is while running 1, which is +6 on block, knocks down like this. The reason this is a key move is because if she lands this one when she's in heat, she goes into having a nerf. And you basically take the mix. It just guarantees that mix. I think you can do Arslan style, like a frame perfect step right duck, but even Arslan will drop that. So while running 1, also a key move, like especially in heat, down for 2, neutral into stance, on counter hit. She gets heat, right? Right, like this, with the free button. This was nerfed recently, and that this doesn't launch anymore. Now it just throws them down for a guaranteed follow-up that used to launch. And then we can talk about her install. She builds token when she lands certain moves. Not down back free, but I wanted to show down back free. So this is power low. It is launch punishable on block, but if she counter hits, kablam, 40 damage into Oki. When she builds installs, a lot of attacks just hit harder. I guess I can try to show you player enhanced state. You see this? This is something she got in Season 3. 47 damage, like almost 50. And basically the heat blender used to be that mid into this, and then sort of looping this offense. She still does a ton of chip damage. If she wants to. A very, very strong character and very, very easy. And now we're... Oh, the Lady of the Hour. I love it. We're gonna talk about Kuni. That's a character I've had a lot of fun with actually playing. She is a bit towards the specialist side. A lot of people think Kuni is very easy and pick up and play. And there's something to be said about that. Like, anyone can pick her up and start goofing, like with this stuff. You know, throw as much gibberish as you possibly can towards the opponent and just like knowledge check them. But that's a lot of characters in this game, you know, and she has a lot of evasion and like projectile and shit. But if you want to play her like what I would say like perfectly, like a high level Kuni, there's actually quite a bit of work involved. It's pretty intricate and complicated, her moveset, if you want to get really good at it, like with set, cat, and back turn. So these are like free stances you have to learn to do well with. Her punishment is extremely strong. You cannot exaggerate how strong her punishment is. But again, that's going to reward a very strong Tekken player because that means you have knowledge on the cast. And there is some execution to that as well. So that honestly rewards a very strong player. And if you are playing this lady without her punishment, you're playing her wrong, as far as I'm concerned. So the first thing we can do is just me showing you how crazy the punish is. So basically, Jin here does his Scourge, which is a minus 14 unblock low. Oh, my bad, I dropped it. That's a punish. This is CD2. It can be done from crouch and standing. And just like Yoshi's CD2, she can buffer this. So this means that while I'm in an animation, like say my own down forward 4, I can input CD2 while I'm stuck in the animation. And with good timing, the CD2 will come out as soon as I've recovered and I'm ready to attack again. Bufferable. Anything that's minus 14, standing, crouching, the lady launches. This is also very important because universally low heat smashes are minus 14. Or heat moves, power lows, minus 14. She launches all of those. That can't be stressed enough how strong that is. Technically, anything that is minus 10 can be punished by this. So again, execution, forward, forward, forward 2. Perfectly executed, this is 10 frames. But it's very reliable to do on anything minus 12. And again, standing or crouching. So this means like... So I can block this. And then 34 damage wall splat him. $80 damage. I can't stress enough with you like how insane her punishment is. So why is she so high on the tier list? That punish, some of the best movement in the game. Sorry, I'm not warmed up and my backdash sucks anyway. I'm 40 years old. Fantastic sidesteps. Her hurt box is very small. Tons of combos drop on her because she's so small. This was the same in Tekken 7. Some of the best space control. And just fantastic counter hitting. Set 2, standout button ever since Tekken 7. She just goes the entire screen and does a very fast mid. That is plus 8 on hit. On block, it's safe at minus 9. But this is a counter hit launcher. That is very strong. She can do a slide. Plus 1. This slide is also a counter hit launcher. The slide is obviously launch on block, but still. Of course there's more to set, but I'm just trying to show you the basics. She can set into a crouch. And now she can start fucking you up with her crouch mix-ups, right? And here comes this low, which is quite overtuned. It's a bit telegraphed in that she'll do it from crouch. So if you see a crouch, you're looking for this low, but again, she can just do this and launch you, so it's a bit scary. But again, this low cannot be low parried. It's very long range. It's daggers, so it can't be low parried. Very long range, natural, tracks well to both sides, plus 5 into back turned. And then in back turned, you will either see this low, which is minus 13 on block, chunky damage, plus 4 on hit, But she has a very good mid here from back turn. 1+2. A very long range. 25 damage +7. Completely safe. At -2. This also tracks well to both sides. These are very strong normals. Very good moves. Key lows is like down 1+2, which is -14. So a bit scary to do against Kazuya and Jin, who will launch you for it, but note the range. And again, this can't be low parried. Can't be low parried. Can't be low parried. So many lows you can't low parry. She has Yoshi's down back 3-3. And for power low, sidestep 4 into guaranteed follow-up, 39 damage. This one, of course, is launch punish. Need to be close, needs clean hit range. Can mix with step 2, which is +6 into back turned mix. Other key buttons that also throw her way over the top. 1, 2, 4. This is a confirmed 10 frame. You note the 1-2 counter hits, but again, this is difficult to do, but you can learn to do it. You see the first 2 hits counter hit, and then you add the last hit. Well, I now have a 10 frame wall splat, right? 80 damage. We have down for 1-2, which is mid. 13 frame startup, right? -10 on block, with the threat of a follow-up. The 2 ladder hits are natural. When they wake up here, by the way, afterwards, you can threaten a dagger. There's a mix-up there on wake up, so them getting up is not free. But this is another counter hit confirm. You can do down for 1-2, and you have quite a bit of time to notice it counter hits and add the last hit. And now it's literally 1,000,000 damage. 90 damage from a confirm. Counterplay to Kuni is stepping her towards the right. Step towards the right is the counterplay. But she has a very strong down for 2 to shut that down. It's a bit like Victor's. Almost exactly like Victor's. Very long range. -14 on block. Also tracking to her weak side is back 2. This move is obscene in my opinion. Note that range. +5 on hit. Safe on block, 17 frame startup, counter hit launcher. Her combos are very strong as well. She has insane wall travel, and while the damage is not incredible, it's not top tier damage, but it is good, solid damage. Right? But the wall travel is exceptional on Kuni. It is exceptional. And then she has tons of mix-ups. So like 1-1-2. There is counterplay to this. Again, I'll post a video with the counterplay, but like this is safe. That's plus frames, right? She has a very obnoxious throw, 4-1-4. Which is like Law's I'm a Dragon throw in that it's got a completely unique animation. It's the one button to break both of those throws, but you don't have muscle memory because it doesn't look like a standard throw. It looks weird, so you eat it anyway. So that's pretty awkward to deal with. I mean, she has like strong gimmicks. And her heat, very long range heat smash. Up 1+2 is a very strong button. 40 damage, +5 on block, wall splat. She gets a cat low, like so, for 30 damage that can wall splat you. There is counterplay to the character, but when she has such strong buttons to shut down that counterplay, and she can play around timing as well and counter hitting, it's like, to me, there's no denying this character is like very, very strong. Next character is going to be Law. Law is a character that has seen quite a lot of nerfs, especially to his heat. Like his heat right now is nothing to what it was in Season 2. The nunchuck used to refill. It used to launch right on normal hit. Now it throws them down, and he gets this for free. Now it requires a counter hit to launch. And I'm sure you remember that this used to be a 10 frame launcher. It's not anymore. This used to be a confirmable launch. Back 1-2-2, confirmable. launch, right, for 1,000,000 damage, but that just knocks down. So these are like significant nerfs to his heat. It should also be said that now, when he wants to 50-50 you in heat with slide, the guaranteed nunchuck eats heat now. So he removes his own heat, applying his basic 50-50 on you. But the thing is, in his neutral state, he is still like absolutely earth-shatteringly amazing. I talked about the slide. This is arguably... No, it's probably the best knockdown low in the game. It does a total of 33 damage, right? Homing. I mean, basically homing. You can't step this. If you block it... You don't, it's not like a stagger hell sweep where you get full damage, you know, launch into combo. Here you will float low into the combo. So you still get a decent punish, don't get me wrong. But that's still not for that, you know, it's still significantly less damage than you get from a full launch because you get a float combo. When Law applies this next to a wall, so maybe like this angle, he goes to the side of your character. And suddenly, your pickups you will use to float him out of this, which typically have linear hitboxes, they will whiff very often. And low players know about this. So when they have you at the wall, at awkward angles, they'll start throwing that slide, and very often, your while standing 4 will whiff. It is the most broken shit. Slide is crazy. And then he has this low, he has this low, he has this low. I have to be in heat. But in heat, that's a launcher. That's a counter-hit launcher. That low. Best down for 2 in the game. -7 on block. Tracks really well to both sides. Doesn't matter if you play against a green rank law, they'll be using that. Or if you play against the best law in the world, Manja, he'll be using this all the time. As keep out, in your face. And then, of course, his 1-1-1 is still a confirmable wall splat. Into 1,000,000 damage. Dragon Hammer is one of the best counter-hit buttons at +3. And again, best frames in the game due to baby mode DSS. You just hold forward, so while standing 4 now is +12. They made his DSS 1 safe again by giving him a blue spark version. Like so, that has pushback so they can't punish even while I'm -11. It's of course a heat engager wall splat. Counter it while standing 4. Gives a free DSS forward 1, if I can do it. There we go. So that's obviously extremely strong. Oh, and 11 frame counter-hit button, counter-hit launcher. 11 frame. It's a super stacked character. If he wants to, he's always plus, right? As you can see, it's always my turn. Amazing counter hits, amazing punish, super oppressive stance rushdown with a baby mode DSS, amazing combos. The heat smash doesn't wall splat anymore, but it's still absurd. At 14 frame startup, +11. Will still break a stage hazard from far away. Just a very stacked character. And again, don't feel bad for him in heat. He still has upward free launcher. So again, he crouches, right? He can slide, or he can do upward free and launch you. So don't need to feel bad for Law. So Law is really, really strong. The next character we're going to talk about is King. So King is a character I personally consider very toxic right now. I wish they would do some changes, adjustments, and nerf to this character just for the health of the game. For Tekken 8 to be a game that's more fun to play at all levels of play. Problem with King is that at all levels of play, so it's like green rank and the level of play where I am at like God 6, the highest level of play, a King player can just opt to run in your face with heat and do this, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. That is the RKO, and that's a throw that is 23 frame startup. Once this connects on you, you can't break it. It is untechable. It is homing. So the only thing you can do here is try and interrupt him, but you know, sometimes he'll go into this with humongous plus frames and there's nothing you can do. or he does it on wake up after a specific wall combo. Nothing you can do really. So all you can do here is crouch it, right? 23 frames is where we typically say things are reactable to anyone, even Joe Biden. But the thing is that even top players will eat this quite often. It's not an easy react to do. Our problem is that you and me and 99.999% of people who play this game, we play online. And online, this is straight up unreactable. So basically what you do is at all levels of play, green rank and God 6, we eat this because it's the lesser evil, because we do not want to eat this into Oki. We do not want to eat this move that wall splats and is +2 on block and is also homing. What I disagree with this character, what I deeply disagree with, is that any level of play, a king player can present a situation to you that is so oppressive that the level of play is so non-existent that you might as well be a green rank. It doesn't matter if you're Arslan Ash or you have 50 hours in this game. You are largely handling that situation in the same way. You're like, like, pray. This to me is a huge mistake in game design. I stressed this with Giant Swing as well in Heat, where it is now a homing 10 frame that still has the countered property of Tekken 8, where it's like if you press into that, it is unbreakable on reaction. Especially when the king player blue sparks this. Which is some execution, right? But still, it is just unbreakable now on counter hit. And also something I feel people very rarely talk about, that I feel adds to King's strength, is that power crushes are very important in this game. There's a lot of situations where you want to use them, like for example, Clive is Phoenix shifting you down, or some of Hwoarang's pressure, like you kind of want a power crush because on some of the moves, the counterplay is very hit and miss. So a power crush can feel like a better button to throw. And power crushes are quite universally, not all of them, but most of them are like universally -13, and it's a pretty decent range mid that wall splats. Now, counter hits are blown up by throws. So, if you get thrown on the startup, you die. But also, that's a punish. Power crushes on their recovery frames, so -13 here, if you're thrown within those frames, the throw is untechable. So who has good throws in this game? I hear the wrestler king has good throws. Let's see what we can do. So yeah, this is now guaranteed punish. 70 fucking damage. For you, any character in the game versus King attempts this universal power crush, which is really important, you know. A lot of characters want to do this against the wall. And again, King can punish you with a giant swing into the wall, 70 damage, and now you wake up at the wall. And note that there are power crushes that are like -12. Where he can still do this. Or like -10, he can do this. Anything to do with power crush, he just turns the game on top of its head. Like, it's like his muscle armor, right? He absorbs an attack, and then he does this. Boom, heat engager, full heat bar, and now you gotta deal with my mix-ups. This is, for some reason, safe on block. If he gets it wrong, he just throws it on your guard. And then, basically, they'll do down for 2-1. Some 13-frame mid-poke. That is -6 on block. If they see you press into this, they will twitch confirm the second hit. And now this mid-poke is a full launcher for 76 damage. This is now a mid-poke that is completely safe that can launch you for 76 damage into Oki. It is absolutely ridiculous. Another standout button is forward neutral 2. It is -13 on block. Counter hits into this. Note that as this doesn't count as an air juggle, there is no recoverable health. Very powerful low. All his throws are enhanced by the Tekken 8 system in the countered property. Almost unbreakable, pretty much unbreakable on reaction if you get countered by the throws. Arguably best wall combo in the game. So 3-2-2 charge into sprint mix is arguably the best wall combo in the game. It is very easy to apply. It's very hard to deal with. His heat, again, homing throw mix-ups. Almost impossible to deal with, by the way. You don't want to duck him to option select because he'll fuck you up with this, 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 this. Or his full screen heat smash, which hits grounded, tracks well to both sides, and is plus 12 on block into mix. Its floor breaks also, where it will do on a normal hit, you know, 60 damage into combo. It is very, very stupid. And honestly, chain throws are not a meme. Chain throws are not a meme. King's chain throws are very strong. Even Arson Ash he ate the full screwdriver sequence from Vajon. Very problematic. I hope he gets nerfed. Next up, we have Alisa, an insanely strong character, which interestingly doesn't get a lot of tournament presence. We have seen Arslan play her, and you know Arslan, he never plays a weak character. As soon as Arslan plays a character, you know the character is top tier. You have Chanel, Cuddlecore, but a lot of people just don't go with Alisa. Might be due to her unique playstyle. But make no mistake, this character can do anything. Amazing movement, amazing sidestep, one of the best backdashes. Her poking is crazy strong. Crazy strong. And then it's a character that can like pressure you from like anywhere due to the obscene range of a lot of her tools. Like slide, this homing, and the full crouch mix is powerful. Like this low. It's only minus 11, even with like plus 5, and does 26 damage. Like, that's kind of broken. And she can mix that with while sending 1+2, which knocks down into a free slide. This power crush is really awkward to deal with. But again, it kind of comes down to how bullshit she is in destruction mode now. And of course this twister here, which is like +4. And you don't dare press anything. She just infinitely pressures you. You just block all the time against this character because it's like infinite pressure. Absolutely fantastic character, super strong. A lot of people don't know the matchup very well, so a lot of people just get blown up no matter what. She has a very high win rate, like very high win rate online. So now I'm gonna go to like the strongest specialist characters. I do again want to stress the caveat on these characters that you could argue Bryan is the best in the game. You could argue Nina is the best in the game. I just put them below the top characters because they are so demanding to play. And I think being very difficult kind of hurts a character, in my opinion. Like more mechanical skill, misinput, inconsistency. The game plan might be hard to apply on different player styles. But we're gonna talk about Bryan now. Again, if you feel he's the best character in the game, he is the best character in the game. It's like, there's absolutely arguments for that. So there have been a lot of nerfs on this character, particularly his heat takes sledgehammer after sledgehammer. But they had to do that because when you look back at like season 1 Bryan's heat, it's just like, it is insane how strong it was. This has been nerfed significantly. Incinerator has been nerfed significantly. Requiem, you can actually step it now. But even with all of these nerfs, he remains an insanely strong character. And it's just due to how he plays. Again, this is one of the hardest characters to play in the game. I think he's top 3 difficulty due to how much he revolves around simply finding out about your opponent's timing, reading the timing appropriately, and just counter-hitting them. And it might sound easy because he revolves around so many safe buttons to counter-hit, but it's not as easy as you think. And it's like 50-50 utility is very limited. Basically boils down to hatchet. It's a tough character to play. And execution, it's tough due to taunt. You don't want to play this guy without taunt. But if you can pull it off, like holy shit is he strong. Super hard hitting counter hits into super hard hitting combos and wall travel. But more interesting is what happens once you hit the wall. This is where it really starts. So you hit the wall after that huge combo, and then you eat Tick, 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 tick. Typically, I just dropped it, but let's say he does this. Tick, 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 tick. And now, for those of you who don't know, Bryan, and Bryan alone, has access to a 28 frame attack. Like this, that is unblockable. And when this hits, Bryan has 16 frames where he can do whatever he wants with your anus. Very easy, you can do 4-1. So I just taunt 30 damage into +7. Frame perfect is back 4. And now, like, basically you just die. You just died. You are waking up to arguably most unfair Oki situation in the game due to taunt. If Bryan feels like, oh, he's so afraid of my taunt, he's gonna mash, he might just do back 4 instantly and counter hit you. And now, oh, you died anyway. And that one is safe on block. Unless you're playing like Jack, who can like forward 2 that. Safe, because he pushes himself away from you at -10. And mind you, like, he's still threatening you with something, like he might pull the Soul Eraser on your ass, which is very hard to deal with. It's a very hard to deal with move. Most people here are just gonna stay on the ground. They don't want to get up, you know, and then down 4 can hit you on the ground, soccer kick can pancake flip you on the ground. You can actually reset the situation. If you stay completely still, that resets you up on the wall. It is unbelievably unfair. Note that it does require a skilled player, but once someone is that strong, yeah, this character is very bullshit. In the neutral, you have Requiem to contend with. You have the almighty Cannon, which is one of the best counter hit launchers in the game. This hits from like 3.2 meters. 3.2 meters counter hit launcher. He tests your patience with amazing strings like 1-2-1, -6 on block, third hit, counter hit launcher for 1,000,000 damage, -6 on block, delayable. Delayable. Has a 10 frame counter hit that wall splats. Can check you with down for 1. Every hit is delayable. It is fully confirmable. It's a mix-up on block. Will he stop? Will he do the whole thing? Extremely strong neutral string. Down 4 is an overtuned low. It tracks to both sides. It is only -11 on block. And again, 14 frame launcher for punish. It's like Kuni, bufferable, 14 frame launcher. Any heat smash he blocks, low heat smash, right? Every low heat smash gets jet uppered. And his homing is so strong. His space control. Oh, you're stepping? Poo, poo. You know, unless, like this move, -14 on block. But if he catches you stepping, there's combos, right? Unless they do there's a 2 frame window, strict window, to time a tech roll to the right. But very hard to do. Even a lot of pros, and I also, even me, I drop it sometimes, right? But again, it's so expected that you will apply that counterplay at the highest level of play in this game. But what they do is they run in and taunt on your tech roll instead. And kablam, right? It's a very, very strong character. But again, I do want to stress, requires so much of a pilot, but holy shit is Bryan strong. Nina basically excels in poking rushdown and everything, to be honest. This is Arslan's trademark character, specialist due to, you notice you don't see a whole lot of Ninas. The ones you see the most is like Arslan and Yod from France, amazing Nina player. She has very strong space control, counter hitting, she has good punish, perfect throw game. But what she specializes in is like poking. And just being unbelievably oppressive to the point where you can't really do anything. So she'll rotate down for 1-2, which is a mid-high that jails. This means that if you block this, you can't block the second hit. It jails. You are jailed into a block stun. So you're just stuck there blocking. So the high can't be ducked. This has multiple mix-ups. She can do down for 1-2 on its own. She can do this. She can do a kick here, that's -6 on block. That's a counter hit launcher if she thinks you're going to be a naughty, naughty boy. She can go into her forward sway, which of course has a billion options to deal with, including chain throws. Her 1-2 has similar mix-ups, where she can do 1-2-1, which she has from down for the 1-2 as well. She can also do 1-2 into counter launching kick. She got this move, I think with Season 2. It's not a fun button to deal with. This is 4-3-4, 1+2. She does a knee into a Glock. This is not a natural, but it's completely safe, as you can see. The only thing you can do is power crush in between the knee and the Glock, but you don't want to do it. It's not really worth it. Problem with this string is that on counter hit, it's fully guaranteed into wall splat. And she has insane lows in down 2, long range neutral, -12 on block only, even though it has the threat of a follow-up, but it's also only -12 on block. This is a counter hit natural, but wall splats. This is actually absurd. I don't know why this is in the game. I don't know why this is in the game. It's so overtuned in my opinion. And then down back 3 is the big frame low at +4, -13 on block. But other standout low is wipe the floor, which will be used as the power. Try to get a comeback low from Marcel Nash. It's obviously launch punishable on block, but very strong. That's guaranteed. It's a very strong low. Another pretty absurd low is down 3-4-3 like this, which on block is safe at -7. Fast startup at 16. And on counter hit, you get the whole thing yet again for 46 damage. You know, and speaking of absurd counter hitting, +5 natural, 24 damage, -6 on block. If this counter hits, very easy confirm, add another hit, and this is counter hit natural, 46 damage wall splat. This is obscene. But these are like, you know, key buttons. And then down for 2, of course. -7, natural hit launcher. Sidestep 1, +24 on hit, +10 on block. It's a very, very stacked character. Arguably the most oppressive character in the game. Best poking, best counter hit poking, insane space control. So many ways of removing your remaining recoverable health. Extremely strong character. Alright, so next up is Yoshi, who is also a specialist character. There's a lot of stuff you need to learn regarding his move list to play him. He's super unconventional. Most characters in this game have a lot of identity, but Yoshi is like, there's no one like Yoshi. Not even close. Like, the things he does, he punishes you for pressing, and he punishes you for blocking. Like, quite literally. If you just try and block against this character, you get blown up. So you can't block and you can't attack due to the flash. It can't be overstated in my opinion how strong this move is in a game that is as aggressive as Tekken 8, where people really want to press, and Yoshi can really make you second guess pressing because of this 6-frame reversal that guarantees a back to 2. And now he's done 46 damage, and he is +9, and he's got a full heat bar, right? He, more than most characters, will make you second guess all the time. Do I press? Do I press? Flash is so strong that it has a huge impact on a match, even if it was never used. And great Yoshi players, they know this. They barely even have to use it because you're like +5, but you don't take your pressure or your frames because you're so afraid of Flash, you just look at Yoshi. And the good Yoshis, they know this, and they go, my turn. And suddenly, in a game where you really want to keep your turn and your pressure, especially in heat, Yoshi gets a second turn, or it turn steals you for free without ever using a Samsara, or like his flash, because you're so afraid of it. And especially, of course, when he is in his install, which is his NSS, where now it's like a full launch, right? So now it's really, really going to hurt, but now the startup frame changes, and now it is 8 frames. But it now has a larger hitbox as well. a significantly larger hitbox, where there are actually moves in this game that are -8 on block, but where you're standing so close to Yoshi, he can launch you. The Yoshis who know about this stuff, like, oh my god, like, they do the craziest things you wouldn't believe. Like, they know you want a jab check, they duck your jab, and then instantly crouch cancel into flash and launch you. Punish you, with punish. There's a tremendous skill ceiling on this character in just how to use these things. But then in this game, like, again, just some of the best Oki. Like, he does this, and he can just loop this. You know, you stand up again. This is a tech catch. Forward 1+2 is an insane button, especially in heat. Full screen, tracks a ton, can cross up with it. Full launch into a huge combo. This move is broken. It's a full launcher. High that you can duck. But it is impossible to whiff punish because the hitbox, there's a lingering hitbox that is still active when this breath goes out. And that hitbox lasts for longer than Yoshi's recovery. Unless you have something like this, where you remain crouching and you beat highs, there's nothing you can do about this move. Most top players, like, we're just looking at them. Well, they just, in the neutral, they do this. And of course, there's some of the best evasion with spin to win. Super unique playstyle with some of the craziest stuff. But then plays really strong fundamental Tekken. He has a very strong down for 2. Beats jabs very reliably. -7, decent tracking. Outside of Claudio, I don't think there's a more evasive hop kick in the game. You can almost treat it like a Devil Jin Samsara in how evasive it is. Very powerful hop kick. Full crouch, counter it, launching sweep, homing, very strong. A lot of Yoshis use that as keep out. But yeah, I'm not gonna go through the entire character, but it's like, I hope I explained how, with just his complete weird, unique moves here, flash, etc., how much he sort of thrives in a game with the environment like Tekken 8, with the aggressive, very aggressive system on the game. It kind of benefits Yoshi a lot. And then the very broken Oki with the full crouch sweep, forward 1+2, reset, reset, reset. There's a lot of disgusting stuff with this character. Very strong. Lee has been very, very controversial. It's a character I've been talking a lot about, like how strong he is. Very notable Lee players, you know, will say like, oh, he's not that strong, he's like mid-tier. You know how we talk about Bryan and you know how strong his counter hitting is? A cannon, for example, and it's like, well, Lee has a cannon. This is +5 on block. Counter hit launcher. Note the chip damage. This is 10 damage on block. Mr. Jin eats it. And like, Lee has crazy combos, man. Like, I'm obviously not doing optimal stuff, but it's like, he has very, very high damage. It all basically converts to a deadly spike combo, which does 1,000,000 damage into Oki. And, you know, Lee's damage is nothing to joke about. Like, do you see Jin's health bar here? That was 105 damage from a 10-frame counter hit. So I'm just trying to tell you, like, for all of the reasons we consider Bryan a strong character, minus taunt, right? Lee is sort of there as well. He has the most obscene space control. Like, Bryan denies you movement. He always has. But therefore, Bryan doesn't have a lot of 50-50, because you're not allowed to option select with sidesteps. Lee does the same thing. He denies you space and playing Tekken. He just does what this move, 1+2. He forward dashes into this. So if he's close, there's no backing away from this attack. And there's no stepping this attack because it is homing. And this move, for some reason, is +2 on block. And it is a counter hit launcher. So that's interesting, right? So don't move. But unlike Bryan, he actually 50-50s in this game quite well with back 3-3, which is 21 natural, like this. Or he will loop slides on you like this. These are bufferable, so they come out instantly. And if you duck to block a slide, blam, right? From crouch, I have my 14 frame while standing launcher. So there actually is 50-50 utility on this character. Note that I can do back free from Hitman, right? So I can do this, 1+2, instantly back free. This back free is homing from up close. It's homing. More than Bryan, I'm 50-50ing you. But just like Bryan, I'm denying you space. There's no option selecting this from movement. I'm denying you Tekken's 3D space. You don't get to backdash me, you don't get to sidestep me. You don't get to press a button. Even if you block this, I'm at +2. So you are not going to do anything now. And then of course here's a top lead player says, well, you gotta do step right duck or whatever to beat Hitman, but that's where they gave him 4-1 from Hitman to shut that down. That comes with some risk, obviously, for Lee, but still the fact that he has an option that now tracks right, which was the weakness of Hitman, is just... But even then, I never considered Hitman a flawed stance, because you step right and block, and then what? They can just wait and play around timing. Doesn't have to press. And just like Bryan, he has some of the craziest counter hit launchers in the goddamn game. Make no mistake. He can launch you from 11 frames. This is a confirm, by the way. This is the only launcher of its kind in this game. And I'm not exaggerating. This is his signature trademark. Machine gun kicks, right? We can heat engage right here, Cardinal. With some timing. But I can do 4-4 like this. And if I see this counter hit, I add the last kick. Like so. This is guaranteed. That's guaranteed. And that was 63 damage. And then, of course, best keep out launcher in the game. Most likely in back 4. If a Lee is rotating this move from far away, not a whole lot you can do about it. It's pretty much impossible to whiff punish. And again, the homing, you're trying to move against Lee, well, +5. This is a +2 on block, if I don't go into Hitman. Full launch, homing. Full launch. The Oki at the wall is not talked about enough, in my opinion, how he can reset. There are mix-ups here where he can reset you. If I hit you with this down forward 4-4, or machine gun Cardinal, when I'm in heat, I get a knockdown, right, into free follow-up. But this is broken, in my opinion. I can do this. Pick you up into the spike. So if there's a wall, he can pick you up and do his spike combo. I'm not sure that's even meant to be in the game, but it's there. And then, of course, in heat, he gets a low heat smash that will break walls. That he will mix with down 1+2 or down for 3-4, so +4, +2. So they track different sides. And also, you know, having a safe power crush at the wall, it's pretty crazy. A lot of people don't know this, but he has a 12 frame low that wall splats on counter hit. And of course, while running 3-4, one of his best buttons in terms of rushdown. If he's standing close to you and he has some timing, the lead player, you're not gonna get the step. And then basically you're just in Blender City. Very strong character. And we don't see him in pro play because he is a specialist character. And I think a lot of people are like, if I'm to play a specialist character, I might as well play Bryan, you know, if I want to win. Like Atif Bot, for example, he plays Bryan because Bryan is so strong. But so that covers strongest and strongest specialist characters. And now we're going to start the very strong tier. And again, these characters are very strong. So I'm going to start with Lord Heihachi. The trademark with Heihachi has always been that he has like shit lows. So his Hell Sweep is, it's launch punishable, but it doesn't knock down into big damage, right? And Oki, as we typically see from Hell Sweeps. +8. And then he frame traps, you know, with back 4 here. So if you do a dick jab here, you get killed by back 4. You get counter hit launched. So that used to be a weakness, but in this game, they've put in stances like Wind God Kame and Raijin stance, where instead of using lows to break a guard, he will now use untechable throws or guard breaks. Right? So guard break and untechable throws. And this will basically be a substitute for lows. So if you just hold guard against Heihachi in this game, you can find yourself in pretty problematic situations. Best River is counterplay in terms of you can step a lot of this stuff. But then, of course, you will have homings to try and shut that down. And even in these stances, right? Like this throw, for example, is homing. If you try and duck, if you try and step, crouch, that makes, which is the counterplay. He has this, right? Which is a long range homing mid, which is -13 on block. There is enough counterplay to everything, but yeah, it's quite oppressive. The character's strength here is locking down, like forward 3 into Kame, 1 back 2, 1 back 2 into Kame, forward 4 into Kame, string or move on block into mix, basically, depending on the frames. The forward 4, if it hits crouching, in this game, it's a full launch. That was not the case before. So that is very, very strong. Down forward 1-2 is pretty obscene. 33 damage, natural, doesn't wall splat. But you see Heihachi's health bar goes green, so this will heal Heihachi when he has recoverable health. Same goes for Rashomo, which is +6 on block. The counterplay here is stepping in between the hits, but then he can do a full charge, which will fuck you up, or he doesn't charge at all, fucks you up. Down for the 1-1, the second hit tracks a lot to both sides. Back 4 is a massive damage, safe on block, counter it and kick. That tracks to his weak side. Most people want to step you towards the left, that tracks. His electric is very strong in that it does massive damage. Like, his combos are amazing. He has some of the best combos among the Mishimas, I think. You can just lazily triple electric into this, and it's a ton of wall travel, 83 damage. You land on the wall, heat burst, blap, 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 boom. Into this, it's very strong. Heat smash mix-up is very strong. Only Mishima with a flash punch that wall splats, and it's still hit confirmable. The flash punch is crazy, crazy strong. Being -5 here, you know. And if it connects, you just confirm into it. It's very, very, very strong. And the heat smash, even though it doesn't wall splat anymore, it just remains so strong due to the mix-up on block. His punish is very good, like -12. That's not guaranteed, but most people are gonna try and get up, and then Demon Breath will connect. Has a 15 frame while setting launcher now, didn't used to have that. That really ups his punishment. And then, of course, he has his final boss mode, Warrior Instinct. So he transforms. And now he is insane. Like, Flash Punch, more damage, wall splats from further away. The hidden electric, so that's Wind God Kame 2, is now safe. It's -10 before, now it's -3 with pushback. So some of these sequences like this are like very strong. Just doing something like this, something like this. Not that there is counterplay here, but yeah, there's a lot of mind games, you know. Can delay timing, whatever. His Hidden Omen, so that's Raijin 1, now goes from -11 to also safe at -8. And now it blows up everything. Every Sabaki, every parry, every armor is beaten by this now. It shatters it into wall splats. It's pretty strong, I have to say, but it's pretty stacked. But of course, most importantly is that the Hell Sweep now is -14 on block. It doesn't stagger, so that means it goes through the block. So suddenly this is a reality. This is a reality. So he goes from having bad lows or okay lows to having you know, arguably the most absurd low in the game. And still counter it launches, obviously. And he gets enhanced combos without heat. There is no recoverable health allowed. You'll note that there's a blue... Note how Jin's health bar flashes blue. You see that, right? That's to indicate he gets no recoverable health, as long as he's in the juggle state. His Demon Breath will now... It will stay -10, but knock down into a guaranteed follow-up. Like so. So he gets a Demon Uppercut here. That is also enhanced in range. You can do Demon Breath into Demon Breath, but it is... That's the max damage now, but it's quite strict to do. There you go, 55 damage. And of course, if you're -12 against Ultimate Heihachi, well, Warrior Heihachi down for 2-1 is now a launcher, so now he will launch you from Chrome Dome, forward 1+2. Unbelievably stacked character. Very, very unfair. But so yeah, I hope that stresses why Heihachi in his neutral state is quite different than before, but very, very strong. And then you have Warrior Instinct, which is super duper bullshit. And why I see him as the strongest Mishima in the game currently, and then we'll see what happens. And then we have Lady June. Again, I don't want you guys to stress too much about how I ordered very strong. All of these characters are very strong, you know, and it comes down to the player, in my opinion. Immediately you can see that my install is active because we just looked at Heihachi. So why not look at the install immediately? The install makes it so that everything to do with damage in her combos, where she does light particle stuff, like this, it just does enhanced damage. So 10 frame. This is install damage, by the way. 90 damage from a 10 frame wall splat. And then I can do my confirmable string. $100 damage. Just to show you why some people do consider this character ultra broken top 10, you can look at just this wall splat distance here. You see this? That's from a 10 frame. Oh, you're -10 from crouch? He actually did double health sweep, he's only -10? These are from 10 frames. From crouching... and from standing. 10 frames. This is insanely broken, right? So I just want to make that point immediately when we look at this lady. And then this is an evasive launcher that is safe on block. That pancake flips on the ground. She gets Kamehameha in her install. Sorry. This. Note the damage of this, by the way. And it wall splats. This is an install, though. Dumb thing about her install is that she can build it up in like a round and a half, and then it stays the entire match. It's not like Warrior Instinct, where it's one round, transform, one round, and then it's gone. This stays the entirety of the match. It is -20 on block, but very few characters can punish it from this range. Unless you step perfectly, you won't be able to step it. You can't just sidewalk and beat it. It will hit you. It does 11 damage on your guard. And again, it's a heat engager, meaning in heat, she can dash out of it, making it +5. And she gets a guaranteed follow-up. Kamehameha is a joke. And again, some of the best defensive tools in the game. Can is broken. It's 14 frame startup. Counter it launching low. Unless you have a hard read on this move, you're not punishing it. You have to duck it. Or she has to whiff it, but she won't. She has, just like Asuka, she has back 3. If you whiff anything, forward 2. 12 frame counter 2. Forward 1+2. It's forward 2 on block, by the way. A 12 frame. It used to be impossible to whiff punish, but in the latest patch, they nerfed the recovery by like, was it 5 frames? So now you can, or was it even 9 frames? So now you can actually punish this now. It used to be straight up unpunishable. And then she has like Asuka, the Sabaki, And she can also do her counter reversal. Only weaknesses I think on this character is like 16 frame down for 2. And then the lows are not that great. She doesn't have a comeback knockdown low outside of crouch, where this is guaranteed. But from standing, she doesn't have a powerful low. She does get it in this stance. Heat low, which eats the heat bar, right? And that one is minus 14 on block, but it's a little bit on the slower side of things. So mostly she'll do this low, plus 2, this low, down back 2, also plus 2. These are good lows. This is only minus 12. But they're not like super hard hitting lows. So with the lows, I guess she struggles a little bit. But then she has like while stunning 2, which is an insane button. Note the range of this mid. 13 frame startup, minus 8 on block, plus 5 on hit. This is a counter hit launcher. That move is really, really good. And she has another powerful full crouch low, counter it, and down for 2, gives a full launch, gives a guaranteed. While setting 3. This move is only minus 11 on block, which is crazy. But again, if June blocks that herself in the mirror, she can kill you, right? Projectile heat smash is also something. Big frames in forward 3. Sidestep 4. Forward 1 plus 2, like really big frames. Into mix. Back to 1 is a strong string as well, has to be mentioned. A lot of Junes spam this string. And she has really good wall travel. I hope I showed you the damage. She has some of the best defense in the game with the active defense. And again, like the whiff punish is some of the best in the game. She has decent enough rush down, you know, where she mixes you with strings into stands. She has good counter hit utility. If she wants to, she has access to big frames, right? Outside of like not having a 15 frame launcher and the lows, I don't really know what the problem is on this character. And when she builds her install, which she does, she's an absolute monster. And she's guaranteed to build that, and it stays the entire match. So to me, June is like slept on territory character. Okay, so the next one is going to be Lord Claudio. Claudio is a very basic, straightforward character that basically does this, or he does this. So big frames, perfect mid, homing mid, knockdown, wall splat, you died. It revolves around a couple of like flawless buttons in my opinion. I've seen a lot of nerfs. They nerfed DP, they nerfed down for 3-1, they nerfed sidestep 4, they nerfed back 3-3. But they had to because he was so overtuned. Like especially his DP was so broken. But now he's in a pretty good spot where he's like very basic, very easy, and still very strong. Bagoosh, he still has super obnoxious guard break in heat, but is still allowed to wall splat for some reason. Oh, sorry. It's for free. I don't know why he gets to keep that, because everyone else lost that. And his DP is still safe in heat, but now it's not a full launcher anymore on normal hit. And now it gives a follow-up. It gives a follow-up for like 47 damage. But on counter hit, it will still launch you. It's still a very strong button, right? It's just not Omega broken like it used to be. But, you know, still in heat. He's got a very strong mix still with this as a wall splat. And low heat smash is 45 damage into the wall. It's minus 14 on block. That's very strong. Down for 3-2 and down for 3-1 is very strong. Down for 3-1. The best Claudio players can hit confirm this, and that makes the string kind of busted at 14 frame startup. They'll do that. They'll confirm this. What is the wall combo again? The new one. Oh, that's it. And now I have install, so I can threaten you with this, right? And then it basically loops into itself, right? Anytime he does his wall combo or a combo, he gets his installs, you're always waking up to an enhanced move. Be it DP or guard break or projectile. It's really tough to deal with, you know, or enhanced while running too. which just kills you. Or this move. Also a very, very strong mid launcher. Best hop kick in the game. Has a ton of range. It's almost like a Devil Jin Samsara in how evasive it is. He goes very low down. He ducks a lot on startup, and it's only minus 13 on block. Very basic, very easy, very strong. If you learn to confirm this stuff, it's crazy oppressive. Sidestep 4 is the only low he needs, maybe outside of this one. Yeah, it's just Claudio is very, very strong and effective, and he's a favorite among a lot of tournament players due to that. So now we are on one of my favorite characters. It is Armor King. So he's not seen a lot in tournament play, but I feel like if you get enough nerfs on certain characters, specifically the top tiers, there's a good chance you'll see him more. He is very strong and solid. Well, you know, I put him in the very strong tier. He can do a little bit of everything. A very strong backdash. He has a dark upper, so not on electric, but minus 10. I mean, basically one of the best whiff punishers in the game, combined with one of the best backdashes in the game. His combos are extremely good. He'll basically take you full screen. He wall-to-walls on any stage into a pretty cheap wall combo where he does this. Oh, sorry, you have to delay, but I can just do this. You don't have to delay. And now you wake up with your back towards Armor King. If you stay on the ground, you can do some very naughty stuff with ground throws. Or if you stand back up, you can take a pretty awkward mix involving this safe on block. Infinity range, wall splatting mid. That is very, very strong. You see it wall splats from super far away. This is guaranteed, right? And that can wall splat into combo. You get what I'm saying. He has some really oppressive wall stuff. But in terms of strengths, like, of course, the throws, not to the extent of King, but he has... All you need is Giant Swing, Hades Drop, Shining Wizard, Tombstone. Sort of all you need. And then he has... chain throw mix-ups. Again, not as strong as King, but strong. So just like King, when he's wave dashing in your face, it's going to be a free wave throw mix. 1, 2, 1 plus 2. You can't tell because they all look the same. You don't know what's coming. I should say immediately that he also, unfortunately, has the homing heat throws, which is super broken and should be removed. Unfortunately, he has that, and that's unbelievably oppressive. But really good attacks he has, like down for 1 is very good, with the follow-up, which counter hits into guaranteed crouch throw. Stunner is very strong. Sidestep 2 is an insane low at +3, only minus 12 on block, +6 on counter hit. On normal hit, if I do while standing 4 here, there's nothing you can do. You can't step that. So you have to block it. And then, of course, you can set up here while standing 2, which is a 12-frame counter launcher. But it's safe on block. Fort for neutral 2 is a low, but is +8 because he's going to go into bad stance. And here he has very, very strong mix-ups in bad stance. Very strong mix-ups. If you don't want to duck that stance, just doing this into this, it's 2 very chunky lows in a row. You can't step a low here. This was a 43 damage sequence if I got this into this. 43 damage. And the initial 442 is minus 13 on block. On counter hit, this is guaranteed. This wall splats, by the way. Oh, sorry. So that's very stylish. It's not the max damage, but you get the point. And of course his 12-frame punish. Note the range of it. Oh, sorry. +8 yet again, right? So 32 damage into bad stance. 442. A counter hit launcher. That's -6 on block with pushback. Down for 2 is a counter hit launcher. His punish in general is very strong, especially getting this new while sending 3-1, 13 frame. So from crouch, 4-3-2 has been nerfed a lot of times, but it's not a bad neutral button because it tracks to his weak side. If people try and step you right, you can use this. Very good counter hitting, very good movement. Top 2 throws in the game. The punish is very strong. Like back 1-2 into stance is it's crazy. So now we are on Azucena, and I noticed we have Leo afterwards, and then Zafina, and I'm sitting here wondering how many people am I talking to right now? How many people have time skipped the YouTube video to go to Lili now or someone else? I feel like we have 3 characters here that are barely played and that get away with murder in ranked online and sometimes even in an Evo top 8 because people just haven't studied the matchup. But Azucena is a very basic, easy, modern Tekken character that can do pretty much anything, strong and effective, and of course has some of that stance rush down in Libertador stance. Here, that's Libertador, which you can access from a million different ways. Can do it from down forward 1 as well. And in Libertador, she of course has a hell sweep or a safe on block mid. This one, that's a heat engager. She can even fucking DP from this stance. It's 1+2 DP. I can tell you straight away that a key button on this character is forward 4-4. This. It doesn't look like much, but it's one of the best moves in the game. It's not like top 10, but it is up there. So it's a very fast homing, 37 damage natural, where you can duck the second hit, the high, but she has like a ton of built-in mix-ups to fuck you up for doing that. Or this. And that's safe, by the way. It's a super awkward button to deal with. This is a strong counter hit button. Bagoosh. Her down for 1-4 jails, so you can't duck the kick. That goes into Libertador mix, like so. Has a mix like that. This is a counter hit launching high, as you can see. Has a lot of really good lows. Hatchet style lows. She's one of the characters with a safe low. So basically here, Jin is blocking my down back free. Do you see? I can make it safe. There's obviously a mind game here in that he can wait and do nothing, right? And try and catch me anyway, but it's like these types of safe lows that you see a couple in Tekken 8, it's like it's pretty strong stuff, guys. It is pretty cracked to have. A very standout button is while sending 1. -8 on block, counter hit launcher. It's very similar to the one June has, right? She has one of the strongest spike combos in the game. That, yeah, into a guaranteed follow-up. That's one of the strongest wall combos in the game. It even hits harder than double chins. Like, it hits super hard. But so yeah, like a very tricky character, a strong 50-50 utility, easy mode buttons. Just a super efficient character where a lot of people are still struggling a little bit with matchup knowledge. Leo can do anything. He has Feng Wei Kempo. He has Bok, which is pseudo AOP, right? He has obscene stances with absurd frames. He presses forward 4 and he goes into I'm a dumbass stance. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be offensive to the character. I don't know what this is called. It kind of looks like a dumbass though. From that stance, he can also do his heat smash. So, and that's now into +8. There is nothing you can do. And then he does back 1-4. That can be stepped though, but it's super hard to do. So my god, what does this character do? He goes into Bok, he launches you with a safe mid launcher that's super evasive, or he does this low, which is +2. 20 damage. He shouldn't even have a mix here, but he has a mix. Another favorite is this low. Only -12 on block. Good damage, hits grounded. It's a launcher. That's a launcher on counter hit. Down for 3 is a very good wall splat holding mid. He can do core circle for 1 for a -12, I believe, on block low. -13 on counter hit, guarantees while staying for 1+2. This is an 11 frame heat engager. It is insanely strong. Down back to 4 here. He does this elbow. Safe on block. This is a true hit confirm. Heat engager. It's very strong. Very strong. Core circle 4-2-1 is a very strong neutral control button. There's just a ton of amazing moves on this character. But the biggest deal, I think, is that when you are getting bomb rushed by Leo, you will have no clue what's happening and you are going to get blown up. But this is a very strong character. And now we are on Zafina. It's played by Arslan quite a bit in tournaments and also by Shadow. Tells you that the character is strong, like very viable. I mean, you can tell by your stats. Trick-based character. It's a character whose pick rate is so low that Snake Edge, like so, at 28 frames, this works at any level of play. The best Zafinas I encounter at God 6, they will actually use this Snake Edge. Arslan Ash will use this Snake Edge in competitive play against people like Yonding and Lowhigh, and this is because the pick rate is just so abysmally low, and this doesn't look like a Snake Edge. Snake Edge, typically they hug the floor and they sweep the floor in a circular fashion with their leg. This looks like something else. For those reasons, like a very tricky character to handle, and it's super evasive. Plays rather strong fundamental Tekken anyway, like with this low, down 3. Which is only -13 on block, knocks down into guaranteed follow-up. From Scarecrow, this move, down for 1, is very strong. A safe on block, a launcher that tracks quite well. I believe it tracks your weak side. So this is the mix in heat, right? She's in Scarecrow, she'll do this low, or she'll do the safe mid launcher. So, and she has strong counter hits, and like 1+2 is a very powerful counter hit. Has better damage than you think, but has gotten also a lot of moves that are just out straight up very strong that she didn't have before. Or like this move, you know, in Azazel Claw when she's in Tarantula, like down for 1. But also strong conventional buttons. Like very strong conventional Tekken buttons that have pretty absurd frames. +10. +10, and that sets up this mix perfectly. So it's like, don't be fooled by this character in Tekken 8. Like, she has straight up killer frames, mids, lows, highs. So if she wants to play very basic fundamental mix-ups on you, she can do that while she retains like super tricky strings and pretty gimmicky evasive utility, right? Now we are going into more meta territory. Lili has been very popular lately due to getting some buffs. She's gotten more ways of getting into her back-turned mix, which is sort of her trademark. It is very strong. She goes into back turn, she can fucking launch you. She can mix you with very strong lows. It's a very standout low heat smash, this one. It is a little bit safer due to she goes into back turn on block and she can threaten a power crush. So that you don't have 14 frames actually of window to punish that, which is what we're used to with low heat smashes. And it also is very reliably putting you on the wall. And does 40 damage on its own. Very potent back turn mix-up. Very long range on like almost anything she does. Like check out her 12 frame punish. That is like top 1 range, I think, on a 12 frame punish. But yeah, she has a Jin style forward 4 that hits like pretty much full screen, right? Pretty much full screen. Absurd range and space control, like this is homing. And best movement in the game. Best sidestep in the game. There are situations in this game, like very oppressive situations you can find yourself in, where she is the only character that can step on. It's like Dragunov's down 2, his key low, but his pseudo homing. She steps it. Characters where their weakness, you know, like Kazuya, his weakness is basically you stepping him to the left. Lili destroys Kazuya. Lili destroys Deviljin, stepping to the right. Best sidestep by far, and that's, you know, movement is important in this game, and having the best sidestep, it's, I can't stress enough how much of a strength that is. But then she has, like, really, really good fundamental Tekken. Like, forward 3, amazing lows, but are like -12. She has a slide that is strong. Down 1-2 into back turn. It's like a Hwoarang down 3-4 into mix. Very strong. Back turn low in down 2, which is +5. And it's only -12 on block. Like, that is very strong. This is guaranteed. Knocks down into guaranteed core circle forward 3. Her G clef is very nice. So you just do 1-1 like this. And if you see it counter it, you add the final hit. At the, no wall splat, but at the wall you get a guaranteed core circle forward 3. Like so. And you know how evasive this character is. You know, with this stuff, op kick. Threatens you from the entire screen with a launcher in down for 3-4. So it just threatens you from the entire screen with a launcher. Down for 3 is +3. Mid, counter it launcher. Super fundamental character, strong defense, best movement, strong counter hits. I mean, if someone said she's one of the best characters in the game, like, I wouldn't totally disagree if someone put her. I mean, I still have her pretty high on this list, but you know, if someone said Lili's top 10, I don't know if I would disagree. Like, she is, she's very, very good. Right, so now we are on Ling Xiaoyu, and Xiaoyu is completely unique. She is a trick-based character like Yoshimitsu, and her trademark is basically, you can't touch me. She can go into AOP like this. Most attacks will whiff now, but she can even teabag when she's in AOP. She ducks down by tapping down. This can even go under lows. I shit you not. There are lows she will duck under. This is not a joke. And she has, of course, very strong moves from AOP, like, for example, this counter hit launcher that is safe on block. She can do all kinds of nasty shit. She can even roll on the ground when she has lows, right, to fuck you up. She can stand back up, sidestep, etc. She can go into back turn. She can step cancel from her back turn with anything. You go up in the air. She has power crush from there. She has Kali roll where she rolls. She'll go under mids here. Hyper evasive characters with multiple like panic buttons that blow you up for ever pressing a button, right? Also has 8-frame panic button in back 1 where if she wants to shut down your offense, she'll do it not by blocking, but by doing a panic button or manually doing an AOP and then trying to interrupt you. She can obviously power crush as well. She uses that move for Oki also. She has one of the hardest hitting wall combos in the game. If I can do it. Well, I don't even play this character. Here we go. There you go. That's one of the hardest hitting wall combos in the game. It does more damage than Deviljin's, actually, believe it or not. And then I have to stress that when she is in heat and you're trying to wake up, from hypnotist stance, she does disgusting things. She launches you with a hell sweep, basically. No, she launches you with a low poke. It's -13 on block. And then she can do a mid that wall splats you. That's very safe on block. Do you see the pushback? It's like neutral on block with infinite pushback. And then her heat smash, she has 2 heat smashes, but the one from back turn is +20 into the situation I just discussed. On block, it's like +10. Misinput. +10 into mix. So very, very potent mix from back turn and from hypnotist. And then she has like very strong neutral buttons, like 1-1 is very strong. Homing here, plus gives her heat engager on normal hit. So that's very good. 444 is +9 into hypnotist mix, a situation she very much likes. She has a waning moon launching throw, 14-frame launcher. It's sidestep 4. It's only -13 on block. Counter hit launcher. Free 4 is a counter hit launcher. That's like -2 on block. -1 on block even. Can go into AOP. I think she would be lower on a tier list if it wasn't for her heat utility with the wall combo and everything Hypnotist gives her. It's just that that stuff is so stacked that you have to say she's very strong. She is very strong. So now we are on Clive. It's a character that has seen a lot of nerfs. Personally, I feel like the biggest problem with Clive is what he does to visual clarity in this game. Because when he starts swinging like this, especially on certain stages, like on the Pac-Man stage, I might as well be fucking blind. Or trying to spot sometimes his Phoenix shift. It's too hard. It's crucial in this matchup to spot the Phoenix shift transition. When he places it, when he does it. Like, he has so many ways of doing it. So you need to spot it and then try and crouch jab interrupt him. But it's very hard to do due to the lack of visual clarity. I wish they would do something about it on this character. Because otherwise, I kind of like Clive now. I think he's quite fair. I still think there's too little counterplay to Phoenix Shift 50-50, where he does this, homing, safe, heat engager, or they do this into floor break. Or this into wall break. He can do anything. Any stage hazard, he'll break it. But the fact that you can react to Phoenix Shift now, even on back 2, and interrupt him, that's good though. That makes it more fair. His Demon Breath remains OP, I think. 13 frames, -9 on block, heat engager, can do it from crouch. Can mix with down for 2, which is a very chunky low. Has tons of checks. And long range mix-ups, right? That going to Phoenix Shift. Should he want to do that? Or they are countered confirms. But anyway, outside of that, Titan, very strong power crush. Pile driver is a very strong neutral button. Pancake flips. It's a counter hit launcher. It's kind of a perfect move in my opinion. Safe, -6 on block with pushback. Sidestep 1+2. Natural launcher +2. 4-2-1 is a great check. Oh, sorry. So that's a mid into high. Natural that wall splats. That is +1 on block, right? Oh god. That has a mix-up. Counter hit launching, low, down back 4, Phoenix Shift into insane mix-ups. Just a very strong, solid character that plays around range very well. Also, there's something to be said about his combos. Yeah, very long range, right? Very long wall travel. He's been nerfed a lot. He's more fair now. But, you know, strong, solid. But the lack of visual clarity is the biggest problem with this character as far as I'm concerned. Not that problematic anymore, I would say, if you learn the counterplay. Now we are on Jack, the robot. So Jack these days, a lot of stance rushdown on this character. You'll note that we do stuff like this, like a check you with something, and then you take a gamma mix. You take a gamma mix, and it's just, it loops into itself. There's a lot of counterplay to it, like dick jabbing or, well, anything to try and interrupt him. If you do get the read and the duck on the high options, you kill him. The mid options aren't that strong anymore. This move used to be like super dumb. Oh, sorry, that's not the move. His AoE reversal bubble, this one. It's an AoE around him that would hit even behind him. This used to launch when he dashed out of it. He just gets a guaranteed follow-up now. So Jack in Season 2 used to be way more toxic. But now he's more alright. He can still do some obnoxious shit. But standouts are like at 10 frames, like very powerful stuff. Heat Smash at 4-2, 10 frame Heat Smash. That wall breaks. Very strong backdash. Shit sidestep though, which hurts him. But strong poking, long range down for 2 launcher, great combos, high damage, has guard break when he's in heat. Can't really whiff against him because he has like infinite infinite range with punish, like back 1+2, for example. Has a perfect throw game. His throws are also like 11 frame startup. So they're 1 frame faster than conventional throws. And he also has longer range on his throws than any other character. Even King and Armor King, like doing giant swing, they can't throw at this range. That's a big strength from a character. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about Jack. Most people lose to this character because he has an abysmal pick rate right now. So no one knows the matchup. No one knows how to beat his stance slot. So he kind of beats you anyway. If you know about his weaknesses, how to deal with the stance slot, the fact that he can't sidestep, that he crumbles a bit under pressure, you'll do well against him. But he's pretty strong. I think he's carried by his 10 frame utility, obscene combos, obscene damage. Yeah. Lars Alexandersson, fellow IKEA Swede, meatballs. Lars is strong and very basic. When people think Lars, they just think as like infinite stance rushdown. But remember, he has very strong punishment. Arc Blast is a great whiff punish. This is a 14 frame launcher, so he launches low heat smashes. His 12 frame is very good. But outside of that, he has very strong counter hit utility. This is a launcher for the 1+2. Safe on block. He has one of the most obscene G clefs in the game. 1-1. High mid, -8. Wall splat, right? Confirmable. And only -12 on block. That is obscene. Everything is -12 on this character, by the way. So many of his key moves are -12. So many moves where you feel like they should be more punishable, they're -12. Arc Blast was -13, right? Yes, it is -13. And this is -13. Stance slop, rush down, but in this game he has like option selects. He has moves that cover most of the defensive play the opponent has while giving him neutral frames. If you try and step him, which used to be the counterplay, like step right, he now has while running 1 to shut that down at +4 on block. He can also do a Dragon Lash, forward 3-3. This is +5 on block. In terms of like trying to option select and play defense around him, he can still do it, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. And he can also play around so much with timing, just delaying his options, which will also catch you. It's a very tough character to play against now, and you're guessing a lot. And again, in Heat now, now you're also playing around like Heat mix-ups, where he fucks you up with Heat stomps. Oh, sorry, I think I'm just supposed to press 1+2 there. Stuff like this. Way more of a complete character in this game than he used to be. So Lars is very strong. Also has to be mentioned that full crouch down for 2 remains pretty god mode. It's locked behind crouch, but it's a very strong move. Very strong move. And now we have made it to Lord Jin Kazama, a character that in Season 1 was a bit of a joke, in my opinion, but pretty much all of that has been removed. The stuff that made him obscenely OP and brain dead, and they even with Season 3 removed wall splatting heat smashes. So he's in a very healthy state right now. He's very good. He has a lot of skill expression, takes a lot to master this character. One of the most specialist characters in the game. I really enjoy playing him. Bit of a all-around jack of all trades, master of none character. Although, you know, he's neutral. I say master of none, but, you know, he still has electric. He can perfect electric just like his dad. Well, all Mishimas can do it now. Electric remains a crazy neutral tool, right? And Jin is no slouch when it comes to the combos he does here. He doesn't have access to a normal bound, but he can heat burst, and then he can do this, and if you want to, you can do that for maximum wall travel. Obviously eating up the entirety of your heat, but in terms of combos, he can do absurd stuff. In terms of neutral, electric will, you know, arguably best button in the game, right? And then his Demon Poe is excellent. And is there a better neutral tool than a Demon Poe with strong tracking that launches in heat? That is crazy. That is just crazy, right? And then he has forward 4, which remains one of the best counter hit buttons in my opinion. And then also very strong poking in the neutral. There are pokes here that have a tremendous amount of reach. You see here, down forward 1 is pretty obscene. And then of course Jin has a perfect throw game. He has strong stance pressure. The Zen stance is strong. There's a lot of moves that go into Zen to maximize the pressure. He can 50-50 if he wants to. He has a completely unique parry, which has an absurd skill ceiling. Depending on the move you absorb, you'll do 2-4. You can get full launch, like Dragunov does while running 2. You parry, blah, blah. Infinite skill ceiling on that. Knowing what you can do against all the moves. Single hits and strings in the game. And again, you don't want to get bogged down on Jin playing, oh, I'm going to do what I do on Kazuya. I'm going to do Devil Fist, Electric, forward 3. You want to really make sure you use all the different styles on Jin. Everything his move list can do and offers you. And it's when you master the package, he becomes like a 10 out of 10 character and almost no weaknesses. I would say on the weakness side of things, the backdash is stubby and short compared to most characters. And also, I find his lows to be a little bit committal. This is where there's a lot of, like, misunderstanding. And sometimes people spreading misinformation that Jin's down back 4 is reactable. Jin's house sweep is reactable. These have never been reactable. I've played this game for 30 years. I've never seen anyone react to this stuff. And when we look at competitive play, people have counted the amount of times people block these lows versus how many times they eat them. And not even low, high, Atif, but etc. or Arslan Ash are reacting to these lows. So it just does not exist. But what we can say about his lows, however, that is, you know, it is a weakness, is that when Jin does down back 4, when he does his house sweep, he does commit to 20 frames of having no evasion. And 20 frames is a little bit of time. It's a bit like how when I play Kazuya, I'm a bit scared of doing down back 4 because if someone does an electric or a fast button like this, I get blown up, right? It is a little bit of a weakness having some startup time on these. And also, his house sweep is the weakest. Like, I mean, outside of Heihachi, maybe. You know, he knocks down like this and he doesn't get much of Oki here. But that's good, because if he still had his combo from there, which he had in Tekken 7, the character would be too much in my opinion, so I think this is good. But outside of that, like, my god, you have a very complete package here. He's in a great spot right now, truly a specialist character. There's a lot of work playing this character, but if you do put in the work, like, I feel like you can't just do anything. Like, there are, like, no weaknesses here. So yeah, a very cool character and strong. And speaking of specialist character, now we're gonna look at my main, Kazuya Mishima, his father. So Kazuya is very different from Jin in that he is not all-round at all. He is one of the most simple to understand characters in the game, but becomes hard to master in the end. He simply revolves around 50-50. Is it gonna be a low? Or is it going to be a mid? And Kazuya has very strong punishment, so that's a big deal with him, in that if he blocks Jin's down back 4, which is -13, Jin goes up in the air, right? And then he might do this, this, into this, and now, not only did Kazuya get 62 damage, but now you have to get back to your feet again. That's not easy when you're going up against Kazuya, who, if you stay on the ground, he'll steel pedal your ass, and as soon as you get your ass back up again, into the blender you go. He will take advantage of the fact that, okay, you're scrambling up to your feet, he will apply his mix yet again. So this is where the character shines. Kazuya has the best 50-50 in the game. Some people, in my opinion, get this wrong. They actually think Devil Jin has the best one because he has a launching hell sweep. Kazuya has the best 50-50. You can only look at the mids he's threatening you with, like Patricide Fist, being something as crazy as a crouch dash move, wall splatting knockdown mid, tons of damage, +5 on block. He also has Devil Fist, which is better than Devil Jin's Demon Paw, but most importantly, he has a safe mid launcher that's -3 on block. That leads to a very steady 80 damage without resources, 76. Right. But now the Hell Sweep itself, I would even say is better on Kazuya. So Devil Jin throws you into the air, does like 48, 50-ish damage. Kazuya's Hell Sweep, even outside of heat, the neutral Hell Sweep, 31 damage into a perfect Oki situation. But most importantly, and this is something that's not discussed enough on this character, is that, well, when you're at the wall... Oh. And that's mixed with... Oh, +5. Aha. Right. We have not only do we have a safe jumping wall splat, that's gonna give a lot of damage. We have a Patricide Fist that is plus on block. And we mix that with a Hell Sweep that will very conveniently wall splat for 68 damage. If Kazuya is in heat, he has access to down back 1-2. There's a lot to be said about Kazuya's heat, but this is the move that truly carries the heat as far as I'm concerned. This is a long-range 13-frame move that wall splats naturally, no counter it, and does 30 damage. This is something Kazuya typically does not have. Agency at 13 frames. Kazuya doesn't do poking. He does 50-50, typically committing to 20 frames of startup on his buttons. Unless he's counter it hunting with electric or down for 2. Try to counter it like Keisuke with electric. Try to counter it with down for 2. Powerful button. Homing mid 14 frame. Counter hit for what? 80 damage. Right? Homing only -12. 81 damage. But in heat again, down back 1-2 offers him that agency at 13 frames. And if it's blocked, can confirm into a +5. And keep up momentum. The Devil Fist is exceptionally strong. In heat, of course, just like Jin. It's a full launch, very strong. Kazuya can launch you with electric, which I don't have to tell you how strong that move is. And then take you to the wall, do this wall combo, and now he sets up an absurd 50-50 situation in that yet again, the Hell Sweep puts you on the wall. And it's a lot of damage, right? From a Hell Sweep. But then he's also mixing you with the mid, right? This can wall splat. Patricide. Did you see that? What Patricide can do at the wall. He slams them into the wall, and they bounce up again, and now he can bound. If a Kazuya player knows what he's doing, he can set up the best 50-50 situations in the game, and no one has a better 50-50. In this position, you want to counter Kazuya by stepping left. You can't do it here because the wall is in the way. And the Hell Sweep now puts you on the wall. That's absurd. And he has access to it through this wall combo. But that's the character. It's super oppressive 50-50, very oppressive heat with Patricide and Damek 1-2. What we do not have are panic buttons, we don't have poking, and we don't have stances or stance rushdown. And there's no G-Clef, there is a flash punch, but that's all we need really. Confirming this into the blender. So Kazuya is a very one-note, one-sided character. There's no real depth to this character. There's one game plan, but it is very effective. You just have to really know what you're doing, know the frames, when to punish, step. But, you know, very strong character. But yeah, has a lot of weaknesses, right? In terms of no panic buttons, no real poking. But the best 50-50 character in the game and some of the best Oki in the game, as far as I'm concerned. And now we are going to look at Reina, which is a very interesting character. My favorite Tekken newcomer ever, even above Steve. I love Reina, and I love her move list. You could tell it was a passion project from the devs. I don't think I've ever seen as intricate a character and the complexity and depth day one on a newcomer. And I'm happy to see that the community also likes the character. She is the most played waifu in the game, but you know, most people like Mishimas. Every Mishima is sort of more all-round, I would say, than Kazuya. He's the one that's the most locked down into his game plan. But Reina, unlike Jin, she doesn't have like the natural hit big launchers or stuff like that. Instead, she doubles down on being a bulldog. Very pitbull, aggressive, very aggressive pressure. So she is the most aggressive Mishima. A bit like her father, you know, Heihachi. He can also be very aggressive, but Reina is much more of that and has Heihachi has like 2 stances. Reina has 1,000,000 stances, I shit you not. But she is very strong due to electric. Electric is amazing, obviously. And then she has Raiden, which on normal hit, she gets this, right? You confirm into this heat engager. If people want to duck there, she'll do this. She can do a throw. She also has, you know, flash punch that doesn't knock down, but she takes plus 11 into mix. War God kick is a very important move to her. It's her Oki button, that pancake. You can see it as like Kazuya steel pedal. Flips on the ground, does knock down on normal hit. Wall splat. This move is godlike. It is godlike. You can loop them into one another if your opponent isn't careful about how he gets up. This is also a counter launcher. Man, I don't remember the combo, but it's also a counter launcher. And most importantly, on a character that's pretty linear, a War God kick tracks well to both sides. This move does everything. If you remove this move from Reina, she's not even half as strong. I shit you not. And then you have a down for 2, which is minus 12 on block, but it's an easy 15 frame launch. And note the range of this button. Forward 4, plus 2 on block. Just like her father, she gets stuff like this on counter it. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, not on crouch. I meant on crouch. And that will wall splat. Her down for 1 has good range. Down for 1, 2 heat engager. Down for 1, 1. Down for 1 sentai. Very strong. Very strong that she can do a down for 1 into stance mix. And then you have Heaven's Wrath stance, where she does disgusting throws, that if you go into wall, it's excessive, well, way more damage. Iron Hand here, that wall splats. Heaven's Wrath is something you will see mostly after a Hell Sweep. She does Hell Sweep on you, holds down. Heaven's Wrath plus 6. This makes Iron Hand uninterruptible. But if you try and step or anything, this kick is homing. And will catch you. And it's like minus 5 on... No, neutral on block even. And gives a free War God kick, by the way. Like so. Rather than going for natural hit launchers on you, she'll try and just mix you with low like this. Untechable throws and wall splatting mids. Like for example, heat down to 1+2 is extremely damaging. Very good wall travel, very high damage, good punishment. Very like rush down oriented, winning a lot of interactions. She's very often gambling her own health bar. Anytime you duck this throw, you can kill her. If you step Iron Hand, you can kill her. Her Hell Sweep is the only Hell Sweep that is linear. It's steppable to both sides. Like, it's perfectly linear. You can sidewalk it both sides. So she is quite committal in that regard. But again, well-timed Raidens, electric, War God kicks, forward 4s, down forward 1, sentai mix-ups. A lot of very strong, oppressive style of Tekken. Strong specialist character. Arguably the most difficult character in the game. She's way up there. There's so much to learn on this character, and there's so much execution. Alright, so now it's time for Lord Shaheen, a character a lot of people see as boring. I think he has the lowest pick rate in the game, maybe even lower than Kuma, or him and Kuma are right next to one another, but no one gives Shaheen a fair shot, which is a shame because he's pretty cool in this game. Geesh! And if I'm in heat, I get this for free, right? Another cool thing, to me at least, is that he has a low here, full crouch, down forward 4. This is minus 14, but you can cancel this into sneak by holding forward, It says -11, but he goes into a stance where he can't block. But you can hold down forward to go into stance, tap up to quick stand, and then hold back. And now you can actually make this low -12 instead of -14. The best Shaheen players in the world, like AK, they do that. So that when the Kazuya players try to twin piston this low, it gets blocked. It's very tough to do though, very difficult. But that's some awesome like skill expression in terms of execution skill, as far as I'm concerned. He also has some pretty strict staples involving standing free into sneak cancels. But in general, he's a very, very basic character. He's a very old school Tekken character in that he just does basic strong down for 2, hop kick, single hits, like check with down for 1, tracks both sides by the way. Down 1 like this, on counter hit plus 1,000,000, it's literally plus 28. And then does very powerful single hits that he builds momentum with. And then he has a 50-50, like Law, he has a slide. Which is very strong, just like Law's in terms of risk-reward. It's not as strong as Law's, you know, but it's way up there, considering you only get a float punish. He can mix with an orbital. He can do while standing 2. This is like Kazuya's while standing 2, though. It's launch on block. So you'd rather do orbital or hop kick or like any other mid. He still has his trademark while standing 1, plus 4, as you can see on hit. -2 on block. This still counter hits for plus 14, so I can get damage to 1. Still very strong, right? Save power crush, always super nice to have. Nice homing here. Neutral. His down for 2 has exceptional range. -7. It's very, very good. The heat shenanigan is basically he can loop you with this. And it guarantees shit, and it launches. It's very hard to punish. Like, if he whiffs this, you duck it. It's very hard to punish him. It recovers very quickly. He has a G-clef. 1-2-4 wall splat. He can do 1-2-2 here. And that's a counter hit launcher, the third hit. Counter hit launch. -11, however. If you don't duck, he can do 1-2-3. This is quite delayable. And it goes into sneak. And when he is in sneak... key button is the heat engager 1+2, +9 as you can see. This is like +2 on block, I believe. No, it's even +4, dude. Insane heat engager. Like, it is locked behind a stance, but it's crazy. And it's a full launch at +4. So yeah, I mean, that's basically the character. The thing is, he never throws like shenanigans your way. There's not a lot of knowledge checking going on with Shaheen, but it's just that the buttons are all very, very strong. This is a character typically played by strong Tekken players. He's almost only seen in competitive level. Almost only seen exclusively there. I didn't show you his heat smash. He has a low heat smash. Which is good. It's got a lot of range. Like, he jumps into it, as you can see. And that will break a wall. And it's -14 on block. I do recommend people play Shaheen. I think he's very slept on. He's strong. He's fun. His animations are fucking cool, in my opinion. God, how do I do the surfboard attack? Yeah, the surfboard shit is cool, in my opinion. It's cool. Fighting Anna is like being inside of a washing machine or a dryer. You are just spinning around endlessly in an infinite blender mix-up vortex. It just never ends. She's a very committal character and risky, but if you, as the person defending against her, you don't know how to deal with her moves, you are done. You are done. She will win for free. It's very, very specific punishes, like quick ducks, quick steps, otherwise you get blown up. Her trademark is basically she crouches, and then she has a launching 50-50, launching low, launching mid. Mid being -13, the low being launch punishable at -21. She can also do from full crouch this mid that's -12 on block. It's a heat engager. If she is in heat, this will now be a launcher that is +5 on block. So that's a pretty scary tool to give a character that has a fucking launching 50-50 from crouch. And also, you want to remember that she can go into crouch from her heat engager, right? because we are playing ever since season 2. That's a fact, right? You can do that. You have two stances here. You have Hammer Chance, which you access by pressing forward free. And then we have Chaos Judgment, this stance, where she stands on one leg. When she does Chaos Judgment, she has a built-in low parry that automatically happens on any low. As you can see, I'm not doing anything. I'm just pressing back free. She goes into stance, and that will happen automatically. The startup is absurdly fast. So as soon as she presses back free, you can't do any lows. And then, of course, she has a lot of powerful buttons from this stance. She'll go between stances. So here, down for 1-2, I go into Chaos Hammer Chance. And here, I have access to all sorts of things, right? But then I can do Hammer Chance Low Poke. That goes into Chaos Judgment, if I want to. And both of these stances are very, very oppressive, especially Hammer Chance. But Hammer Chance is just an infinite barrage of opportunities for Anna. She has a million strong options in this stance. Downward 1-2 on its own jails, just like Nina's. You can't duck the second hit. Let's just start without Hammer Chance. She can do a mid, that's -5. She can do a high. That will wall splat, like so. She can do downward 1-2 on its own and just keep looping this. She can go into Hammer Chance. And here, it's just Blender City. She has so many options from here. Very tough to deal with. And then we have Infinity Reach on her bazooka as well. This is plus on block. Counter it launcher, that's +1 on block. Does a lot of damage. But has been nerfed a lot. She's way more committal now, unsafe. Doesn't have an absurd G-clef anymore. Down back 4 is not as strong anymore. So committal on the lows. If you get the read, you blow her up. You can sidewalk her 50-50 to the left. But again, she is so stressful to play against. And you still see her quite a bit in competitive play because she's easy to apply pressure with and stress the opponent. Another standout button is 1+2. +1 on block mid. Homing. On counter hit, gives a free bazooka. Wall splat, right? So that's not bad from a +1 on block homing. I find this move to be really obnoxious as well. 4-4-3, 1+2. Full screen heat engager. I believe this still launches. In heat, it does. It absolutely does. So basically a very stressful blender to go up against. But if you have her reads, you can blow her up. So she's unsafe. But really have to be sharp and keep your cool and not get stressed playing against her. So I might be underrating Eddy Gordo a little bit on this tier list. I feel like quite a few people would place him higher. He's done very well in tournaments. He's a 50-50 character that has quite an easy time applying his 50-50 because when he gets the right scenario, there's no option select. So if he goes in like this, you can't step this hell sweep. You can't step it. So he can just go in, put himself in relax, and there's no option select. You're guessing. Or he mixes with this, you know, or he can do his headbutt that will wall splat. And he has multiple moves. Like from handstand 1, +6 into relax, negativa, and now again, you just have to take the mix. There's no option selecting that. You can also do downward 3, which also is +6 into negativa, and now you take the mix. So very potent 50-50 character, but outside of that has safe power crush. He also has a G-clef, 10 frame, a really strong backdash. Although my backdash sucks, but he has a very strong backdash. Oh my, this is so bad. With a really good whiff punish and downward 3. He can keep you out with sidestep 3-4. This is one of the best keep out buttons in the game. It's very hard to whiff punish. You gotta dash in, almost on a hard read, dashing, crouch, and launch him. But it's very tough to do. His down forward 1 has very strong tracking to both sides. It's pretty much homing. He has some nice checks in like 4-4. That's very hard to deal with. Mid, -7, heat engager. Down forward 1 for shenanigans into handstand. A forward 3-4 is a good button to apply pressure with. It's +5. He has a wall from handstand. That's a wall splatting untechable throw. Like that is a very, very scary option. And he has very high damage with one of the most devastating spike wall combo enders in the game. He has some pretty nice low options. In sidestep 3-4, forward 3. On counter hit gives a guaranteed 4-3. This will actually launch when he is in heat. It's very, very strong. Up forward 4 is a very dominant homing mid option. Gives a free +12. Again, free mix from a safe on block, long range mid homing. This homing is very powerful. This is core circle back 4. It wall splats from very far away. And it's +3. And then good old down for 2. Knocks down on counter hit. Arguably the most reliable and effective 50-50 character for tournament play. Basic, easy. You can't option select the 50-50. So quite oppressive. And again, mixes that with some stance rush down, string pressure. But yeah, very, very effective character. So Leroy, Tekken 7 newcomer, super cool, Wing Chun. I think he's really badass, Leroy. He can just be really obnoxious to play against, and it's also a character no one really plays. And a little bit sleeper. He basically bum rushes you down. So trademarks are Hermit Stance, Stance Rush Down, String Rush Down, Machine Gun Punches that are plus. You'll see here +7. 12 frame counter hit launcher in this mid, back 1 +2. 12 frame counter hit launching mid. But also trademark of Leroy is having very oppressive like lows. Very oppressive lows. This is a homing hell sweep from Hermit. You can't step this. Damac free again. This is a safe on block low. It's -8 on block, but he can do his Hermit parry here to fuck you up if you try and punish him. So it's a mind game on block. You know, like Hwoarang's down back 4. And on counter hit, this is guaranteed into a wall splat. Like this, very, very powerful lows. And you know how strong down 3-2 is into Blender, right? Very strong. So then in Hermit, you have access to his new attack, which is sidestep 3-4, which is plus frames into Hermit. You see on hit, this is +8. And on block, it's +2. No, sorry, +3. And again in Hermit, he has his Sabaki, and he also has access to his normal parry, which is back 2, so you don't really want to press into him there. The highs are very strong, like +9 on block, +7, and again, the lows are very oppressive, but in terms of mids, it ain't that great, in my opinion. It's like, he does have an orbital to launch you with, but it is -8 on block, and it has the worst hitbox out of all the orbitals, in my opinion. It's also quite easy to whiff punish, and then his Demon Paw, forward for 1 +2 is -13. Back 1 +2 is a great 12 frame mid, but it's very, let's just say it's stubby. So this is a character where the lows and highs, it's a bit like Devil Jin. Lows and highs are incredible, but the mids, ain't that great. But it's almost like Leroy doesn't need the mids anyway. In Hermit, it's a bit different. Now the mids are better, I would say. And when he's in Hermit, he's typically in range to apply sidestep 3-4, which is very good. But in general, the character has shortcomings, right? The pimp canes are very strong. So this is the mid pimp cane. Again, you only have 1 pimp cane per match. So you gotta choose wisely when to use it. But this can lead to like 120 damage easy. He hits like a truck. Mid pimp cane is an infinity reach launcher that does 35 damage. -7 on block. Note that they fly very high, so again, he gets a huge combo. Low Pimpkin is the one that's used the most. This is now a low launcher that is only minus 14 on block. That is insanely strong. Insanely strong. So this is the one you see the most, but I'm sure you can imagine how much this adds to Leroy's mid game, considering the mids are kind of lackluster. So having this kind of safe mid launcher is a big deal. But so again, like very rushdown heavy. Very much a rushdown character that tests your patience and your guard. But if you get good with him, he's very, very solid and overwhelming. Paul, classic character. Oh my god, I love Paul. He's very solid in this game. You can do amazing things with him. I don't put him very high on tier list, but as I told you before, anyone can compete in this game. Hexmark, goated guy, and super nice guy. Met him at Tekken World Tour. He bagooshed Arslan Ash. Any character can win in this game, and Paul has a lot of amazing tools. Known for hitting exceptionally hard, right? He has a lot of evasion for a big dude. Almost like a waifu when it comes to evasion. How good those buttons are on the character. It's almost AOP evasion when he ducks down here. So something to keep in mind on Paul. Outside of that, he relies on like single hit attacks a lot. Like forward 2, Corsica forward 3, back 4, down for 2, but eats jabs for free. You can't jab into Paul. Down for 2 will launch you. The combos are very good. As you can see here, I just did 78 damage from his lowest damage launcher, which is down for 2. It does 13 damage. Denying you sidesteps, forward 4, super long range, homing mid, heat engager, that's minus 5 on block, checking with down for 1 into backsway. These mix-ups are very important to Paul and Tekken 8. Backsway, testing patience into this, or this. Or building momentum with Corsica back 4, which is plus 1 on block, right? Counter it launcher. While standing 1-2 is his most powerful new addition outside of 4-2. 4-2 is crazy. Minus 5. It's like impossible to whiff punish. If he whiffs this, you can't do anything. Recovers like instantaneously. And while setting 1-2, very delayable. Second hit counter hits. He gets Core Circle back 2 for free. And then you have, you know, a perfect throw game on Paul. Boom, boom, boom. You have ultimate tackle, which is always fun. If he steps you and gets a good step on you, he kills you. Like, all this shit is guaranteed, right? Can set up his guard breaks, which are strong. The guard breaks are strong. Death Fist in heat, launches, kills at the wall, right? He's got a lot of strong stuff, but a very fair character and a very basic character. Hard to play, I would say. He's very strong and solid, but I feel like you better know what you're doing if you play this character. I think a lot of people think you can just mash, you know, teleport and backswing blows, you know, and you'll do well on Paul. You need strong timing to play this character. And then, in my opinion, there are characters who do better if you have strong timing. It's a bit like Steve's problem, where it's like, it's a very solid and strong character, but when you compare it to someone like Bryan or other characters, it's like, well, you play these characters because you really, really like them. And again, any character can compete. I feel like it's a problem with Paul that, like, Demo Man, his 50-50 is only a threat when he's like, you can see here, it doesn't trip. I have to stand right next to him and I can Demo Man. It's a bit of a weakness, which is why most Pauls, they just skip straight to Heat Smash. Alright, so now we are on the strong tier. So these are characters I think are on paper not as good as the characters above, but that you still see in tournaments because they are strong. And in Tekken 8, it mostly comes down to the player. Every character in this game is competitive as far as I'm concerned. So we are going to start with Feng. Feng is a very, very all-round character. I think him and Jin are the poster boys of like all-round. So we have his trademark Kempo, where he skips neutral. You do backdash Kempo and you disappear. Opponent can't engage with you anymore. But if Feng doesn't want to dip out, he wants to go in, he has fantastic poking. Some of the best up-close range 0 gameplay in the game. Trademark is his 10-frame counter hit, back 1. A lot of moves set this up, by the way. And then down forward 1, which is 14-frame neutral on block. So if you jab here and I do back 1, we will trade and I will get a shoulder and you will die. Same with down 4. On normal hit, neutral sets up a back 1 trade. Poking is excellent. Down forward 1 on counter hit is a massive plus 36. Feng can now run in and try and 50-50 with sidestep 4, which launches up close, or down forward 3, which is also a natural launcher. That is safe on block at -9. He can also Oki with this. Down forward 3. Okay. Like so, it will pancake flip, as you can see on the ground. So it's an Oki tool as well. We have 50-50 utility from sidestep, where you can also mix with sidestep 1+2, which is +1. This is exceptionally strong at the wall, where this will wall splat. Or if you block it, I'm at +1 and I have back 1 to threaten you with, right? Back 1 will wall splat at the wall at 10 frames, right? So that's a pretty scary button to go up against. Almost full screen. +3, -3 on normal hit, and has follow-ups, right? That alone is a pretty scary button. And then you have a new back 3, which is plus, that you can now do on block into a mix here. I can go low, I can do my mid launcher, core circle 4-2, right? And then he has Shifting Clouds, which is a launching parry. We have tons of setups into this, like while setting to unblock into Shifting Clouds. His shoulder is one of the best whiff punishers in the game. At 13 frames, long range. It's very good in heat. It's basically what people do in heat. Shoulder into forward 3, right? Heat smash is pretty decent. He gets a guard break when he's in heat, which is very good at the wall. Forward 1+2, guarantees back 1 into combo. He has back turned mix-ups, right? He's got a throw mix from back turned, low launcher from back turned, can check you from back turned, and he also has a safe power crush in forward 1+2. It's a very rich character in terms of how many different things you can do with Feng. But the reason I say he's on the lower end of things is because his combos are not very good. He relies to a fault a lot on dash jabs and combos and heat burst to extend combos. Greatly takes down his damage. And we also very recently nerfed his mix-up in heat. This used to be +12, it is now +7. But you can like backdash the mix. He can no longer 50-50 you because this needs a clean hit to launch. As you can see here, it does not launch. So the frame reduction on that does hurt him quite a bit, I think. And this is also +7. I just feel like the character has to win a lot of interactions, gambling his health bar to win, where a lot of other characters, they can win in like, you know, free interactions. So I think that holds him back a bit, but you know, outside of that, he's, I would say he's really good, really solid, and a lot of fun to play. All right, so now we are on Raven, our ninjutsu Naruto guy, Wesley Snipes and Blade, super awesome. He's a cool character, but no one wants to play him. I would think people like anime a lot. Tekken is quite anime, right? But yeah, no one really wants to play Raven. So, you know, he's a bit underappreciated, I think. He does back turn mix-ups a lot. He has 1 frame parry reversal. He's the only character in the game that has this. Which in, I'm going to do jab down forward 1, jab down 4. Anything can be parried here. I just parried the low. You saw that, right? So I parry the jab. I parry the mid. I parry the low. Just to demonstrate how there's no situation that can lock him down. Demon Paw here is +9 on hit, right? It's a heat engager. Jin does a jab, so that means the jab comes out at 1 frame, right? 1 frame. 1 frame startup parry. That gets out of lows as well, anything. That is a pretty crazy thing to have. No matter what you do, Raven can get out of it. And he can do the exact same thing from back turn, right? And outside of that, Raven has while setting 2, which is largely considered like his best button. 13 frame counter hit launcher from while standing. -8 on block. But of course you know now that June and Azucena, they also have this, right? But this being an elbow, it cannot be parried or reversed. His down for the 1 is homing. It tracks to both sides. Can feel a little bit stubby at times. As a follow-up with down for the 1-4. Wall splats into big damage. -13 on block though, I believe. Yes, it is. Raven has G-Clef in 1-2-4. He has this move. They nerfed this move. It's neutral now. This used to be +5. So it used to be way better, but it's still strong. And then he has basically like 50-50 shenanigans, right? Can mix you with this. Oi. Like so. Can mix that with a 14 frame launching mid. He has a stance where he also mixes low. That's -14. It's not launch. It used to be launch, but they buffed it. Used to be -15, but he can do that, and he can launch. Sorry, he can mix that with mid heat engager. Let's safe on block. So this is pretty interesting mix-up utility in that when he's back turned. So again, he can launch you with a low. He can launch you with a mid. He can do a heat engager mid kick like this, but he can also go for a low that I believe is only -12 on block. But if it hits, he automatically goes into his teleport above you, which he does from his 3-4 stance. If you hold up, he'll do the same thing. But if you hold back as well, he can go into back turn. Back turn. Oh, you hold back. This can loop into itself. So again, this low is -12. And he can instantly do a mid, right? A mid that launches you. Pretty scary mix-up utility on the guy. Down back to 1 is a great check. It's a very long range 13 frame mid elbow that has a follow-up like this. Ish. So that's mid-high. Or he can stop at down back 2 and mix you, right? Very nice 50-50 utility. Super strong gimmicks. Like very gimmicky character. That throws a lot of people off guard. Corsical Forward 4 is one of the best keep-up buttons in the game. It's almost impossible to whiff punish. You almost can't catch him doing this. But again, nothing like earth-shatteringly amazing. But a very solid character. All right, so next we have our legendary boxer, Steve Fox. Super awesome character. Has been the poster boy, in my opinion, together with Law in Tekken 8 of like characters they've squandered a bit. Characters that have lost quite a bit of identity and just seen in general like very unfortunate changes. Like this is his peekaboo sabaki or like reversal. It's a sabaki, right? This move. Now, if he does it, he automatically goes into his new stance, Lionheart. This is very, very much disliked by me and Steve specialists because prior, he would just take an attempt at a sabaki and then he would go back to peekaboo and you can keep using peekaboo utility, right? So instead he goes into Lionheart and you do some form of Lionheart mix-up and then you're done. And it's just like, well, that's nowhere near as interesting as just staying in peekaboo. And why does everything in this game have to go into Lionheart? This is something people dislike a lot, me included. And, you know, this guy's meant to be the counter-hitting paragon. That's what they call him, you know, with his trailer and any promotional material they do. He is the god of counter-hits. And he has very good counter-hits, but again, there are characters that do that better in this game. And in this game, he feels more like the evasive paragon. It's basically, evasion is his thing, where we're used to seeing Steve ducking and weaving into countered buttons or into retaliation, but in this game you press up back 3 and he does outfox, and it is the most powerful neutral skip in the game, the most powerful campo in the game, in my opinion. Takes a huge step back, and here he can choose to, oh my god, stop dancing. He can cancel it, right? Into nothing, should he want to. But if he sees you with anything, right? A good Steve will press 2, and Steve zooms back in again in the neutral, right in their face with an infinite range mid-launcher. But even if he gets it wrong, is only -13 on block. Defensive neutral skip is godlike on his character. It is simply godlike. And outside of that, you do your Lionheart shenanigans, where you have a guard break. I don't see this as strong at all, personally. Like, I dislike this gameplay, but where some people say, oh, it's so busted and brain dead, I'm like, this is terrible in my opinion. Please guards, Jin. This did a total of 28 damage, right? So that includes the chip damage on the guard break. But if this is ducked, I am going to die, right? And then you'll mix that with a mid that's -13, or you can do the safe option, which is Lionheart 1, and that will wall splat. So at the wall, this is quite a potent mix. The wall combo leaves a little bit to be desired in terms of damage. Is back 1, they nerfed the damage of the initial hit. Doesn't hit that hard in my opinion. Steve can get really big damage, but it's typically due to stuff like he does this to you at the wall, a bit away. So again, like, the damage is there, but it's a little bit situational. He doesn't 50-50 that well anymore. You're gonna do Davik 3-2 into a guard break attempt. That's basically the 50-50. It's Lionheart, or is he gonna do rocket launcher? Is he gonna do while running 2 into a wall splat? That's still plus, right? On block, +6. Or will he do Davik 3-2 and yet again try and mix me with Lionheart? And like before, he has good neutral control and space control with 1-1. Still a very strong countered button. His homing is very strong. You can't really step him in general. Flicker 2 remains a fantastic button as far as I'm concerned. Still a countered launcher. Down for 2. Again, this is only if you have the execution, but there are Steve players who can staple down for 2 counter hit into full crouch down for 2 on counter hit. But this is frame perfect. I have not practiced it, but it greatly ups the damage of down for 2, right? If you get a full launch. So there are cool things about Tekken 8 Steve as well, like the sidestep stuff, down for 2 counter hit, the wall throw. And he's pretty strong. It's just that I find him a little bit too limited in his approach. I feel like people have to make mistakes for him to really shine. People have to mess up a lot for this guy to get his stuff in. If you get what I'm saying. So now we're gonna talk about Fahkumram. He is now my sub character. I main Kazuya and then I play Fahkumram on the side. I think he's super fun to play. He has a very unique approach due to having very long limbs. And he's very nice to have outside of Kazuya, because Kazuya is like arguably the most demanding character in the game. And then it's kind of nice to have someone like Fahkumram who's very easy and who applies pressure so easy on the opponent. And the thing with Fahkumram is that you are always in the blender against Fahkumram. There is no neutral when you play against this character. He presses the free button, which is a 13 frame mid check. 13 frames, yes. And then the roller coaster of death starts. Fahkumram now has a million options to threaten you with. And now Fahkumram, the reason I put him low on the list is because his frame data is not very good. Like, the stuff is very punishable. He's very steppable. But the thing is, you need to have a correct read. And you better react quickly. Because not only do you need to know his frames and where to step, you have to execute your punish quickly. Because if you don't do it in time, he'll kill you. It's like 3-1 here, where you want to duck, you know, the second hit. But if you don't do it in time, blam, the 3-2-1 hits you. And I get this, into install. And now, you know, I have a ton of fun. Or 3-1-4, 3-4-4, like, you can't back away, like, there is no neutral. This standing free will hit from any range, and now you have to obey my blender. You are in the blender. Or while running free, +6, +6, +6, +6, +6. 3-4, long range button, counter at launch. This track sidewalk left, this track sidewalk right. The damage is also far above average. This is just a very basic combo. 88 damage, no resources, no counter it. A very basic combo. His wall combo is not the best, but it gets the job done. It's honest work. You know, he has his install where he powers up his attacks. This gives him access to 50-50 utility. He can hell sweep. If you block these charge up moves, he will go into, is it called Rama stance? And here he will do either 1, typically 1, or below 4. The 1 button will beat everything, Rage Arts and Power Crushes. It's so fast, and it's +1 on block mid. So that's the, like, respect me button. Because it is scary in that it will wall splat. Oh, so now I've set him to block, but that will wall splat. And then it's funny because the 4 option, which is the kick, -13 on block, unseeable, that will break walls, you know, stage hazards into combos. So that's pretty cheap. But those are basically the key options there. He also has throw and, like, slower mids. He has an unblockable, but it's very reactable. It's not very good. A good player can react to this and jab him out of it, so it's not very good. But yeah, range is the name of this guy. It's the name of the game. Upward 3 is a fun button. It's a full screen heat engager. 14 frame startup, -14 on block. Most people don't punish this. It's too fast to react to. Gives a follow-up in heat. And it's very hard to step. You need to time your step. The lows are very chunky. Very hard hitting. But they have bad frames. Like -14, -14, -13. Like Kazuya launches all of this. -15. But it's a 14 frame startup low ball with a counter hit follow-up. That's basically Fahkumram. He's always gambling his own health bar. He's taking big risks, but he's so stressful to play against. And you have to be super sharp on your defense because your window to punish is so small, so it's stressful. Puts a lot of pressure on you to perform well defensively. And again, there is no neutral. From any range, this checks you, and here we go. Here's the blender, right? Now it's time for Mrs. Bokeh Bonehead Asuka. A very defensive character by nature, plays active defense, so rather than blocking, we are doing stuff. But she has been nerfed tremendously. She is, I think, pound for pound, the most nerfed character we've had so far. She has gone from top 1 to, like, bottom 10, I think. So they nerfed while running 1+2. So in heat, it is now +7, used to be +11. This used to launch, it does not anymore. Now it does this. forward 1+2 used to launch. It does not anymore. It does this. The full crouch kick used to do a lot of chip and give a +8 in her face, but now there's pushback, so she can't take advantage of a +8 she gets. However, the biggest nerf was nerfing her 50-50 utility. That 1+2 used to do more damage. It used to do 20 damage, but it will also give a forward 2 for free, and it no longer does that. That's not guaranteed. The dummy is just not getting up in time. So this is not guaranteed. It is only guaranteed at the wall, but still gives worse Oki than before. Wake up backwards. So you'll see here, as you can see, it gets away. Whereas if I'm here, I do get the follow-up. And she got some damage reductions as well. So she is, you know, a solid character to play, especially if you like active defense, doing this sort of stuff. And, you know, she can still run you down with, like, her poking, down back free. She has a safe mid launcher, right? Her heat smash is still, like, very oppressive, in my opinion, in range and tracking. There's nothing bullshit about this character as far as I'm concerned. She's designed to be easy, but she has to work hard now for wins because she doesn't have the easy, oppressive offense anymore. And now we are on none other than Hwoarang, a character I've certainly been very critical towards during Season 2. But then I got basically the nerfs I was looking for, and now I can't complain at all regarding this character. But I also feel like a lot of people have dropped him now. I barely see him anymore in Ranked. I used to see him every day. Now I barely see him. There are a couple of nerfs that you don't care too much about, like back one now being launch punishable. You can launch him. I don't care too much about that, or a couple of other nerfs he got. The big ones are Black Kite, so right foot forward motion switch, down foot free. Dash is no longer a launcher. This used to be the most brutal button in the game as far as I was concerned. Like, it's like a full screen homing mid that's +1 on block, but in heat would launch. It's hard to think of a better neutral button. The only problem is that it's locked behind stance, right? But he can motion switch so quickly into attack that who cares? But the fact that that's no longer a launcher, it just gives this, it's like, that's a huge fucking nerf. And then, of course, he lost all of his flappy launches in heat. So basically, you know, this is flappy. It's an 8-frame launcher from right flamingo. That's a counter hit launch. 8 frames. If I'm holding my leg up like this, taekwondo style, and I forward 4-4 like this, and you pressed, counter hit launch, right? Very strong. But the way this used to work in heat was that Flappy didn't need a counter hit to launch in heat. In heat, this was a natural launcher. Now it's not a natural launcher. Now it knocks him down and he gets a follow-up. So this used to mean that Hwoarang of all characters had a 10-frame launcher with Flappy here. His down back 4, a low that's a mix-up on block due to being -1 on block, and he goes into Flamingo. Right Flamingo, where he has fucking Flappy. This used to be a counter hit launcher for 120 damage. And so did up 4. So did forward 4. So did 2-4. Oh, sorry. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. It's like, and then some. Like, it never ended. Like, everything would counter it launch into Hwoarang gets his flappies. But so now he doesn't get, he still gets flappy into follow-up, but you don't get launched and killed anymore, which I appreciate so much. With this, Hwoarang to me is a fair character. He can still be obnoxious to play against, but I personally am never upset at Hwoarang anymore. It's like, I know work goes into this character, but now the Hwoarang players don't get obscene bullshit rewards Hwoarang to me is fine now. And he still has a lot of standout buttons like, you know, 4-3. Again, right flamingo, 4-3, plus 4 into mix. Down 3-4 is still a very powerful, potent homing low. That's plus only minus 14 on block, plus 6 on hit. Then he goes into blender. You know, still has great whiff punish, perfect throw game, 13 frame counter hit launcher, down for 2. He has an orbital. He has infinite pressure from 50 stances. Like, he's got a lot of stuff. He's just not super bullshit anymore. So again, still very overwhelming, obviously, to play against. But in my opinion, nothing is broken anymore. And there's counterplay to everything. But there's a tremendous amount of work on you as a Tekken player to learn how to defend against him, because it's a bit of a PhD. But if you get there, it shouldn't be a problem, as far as I'm concerned. So now, as you can see, we are on Devil Jin, the weakest Mishima, as far as I'm concerned, and one of the weakest characters in the game. Note that this doesn't mean he's unplayable. A lot of high-level Devil Jin players have done really well with him in ranked. In fact, both Ni and Momodog got him to God 7, and they were among the first to do so. So it's been very unhelpful, me constantly saying he's unplayable, he can't do anything, he's so trash. No character is trash in this game. And, you know, I've reevaluated so many of my opinions, and it's like, I feel like I see the game a little bit clearer today than I've used to. And I've grinded a lot lately, has to be said, labbed a lot. In terms of negatives, we're like, poking is kind of bad. Mid's kind of bad. Like, his generic down for 1 is minus 6 on block with a very stubby hitbox, as you can see. Like, it loves to whiff. If a move has high evasion, they'll go under this move. Like, the hitbox ain't that great. But down for 1-2 is natural. Right? And what does this guy have? Well, turns out he's got a bit of damage. Okay, so down for 1-2 natural. Safe on block mid-high, but they can duck it and launch me. Well, we have a mix, right? We have down for 1-4. So, okay, the kick, wall splats on normal hit. Okay, into big damage. Okay. It's very delayable, right? Very delayable. That's good. And it's minus 13 on block. But the interesting part is, if it counter hits the opponent, how much damage? Yes. So I believe that this is like 63 damage if that counter hits into Oki. I'm just saying, like, is that really a bad down for the 1 when we factor in the follow-ups here? Not that bad, in my opinion. And then he has Electric, which is arguably the best move in the game, and he can perfect Electric now. His combos are incredible. His combos are devastating. And then a bit of a stubby Demon Paw, but he still has a Demon Paw. And when he's in heat, you know how this goes. That's a launcher. Can a character that has that be called bad? Evasive Samsara, evasive back 3. You know about the Hell Sweep. You know what the Hell Sweep does? Full screen pseudo homing, right? That mixes on block. And on hit, guarantees a full heat bar. That will allow me to do a heat Hell Sweep. And still have enough heat in the tank to do another heat Hell Sweep. Or a launching Demon Paw that's plus 5 on block. I also have, of course, a perfect throw game. My down for 2 on counter hit. It's got a lot of range, my down for 2. Very generous range. Safe on block at -9. On counter hit, I get this. If I land a shackle when I'm in heat, I get this. Into a guaranteed steel pedal. You can't take that steel pedal, but it's a frame perfect roll. Frame perfect on the ground. Even pro players drop it all the time, so I just say it's guaranteed. Down for 2, same thing. Blap, blap, blap. But this doesn't cost me any heat, by the way. Look at my heat bar. Then he has, you know, flash punch, hit confirmable. He has a 14 frame while standing too. It's a great punish, right? 14 frame while standing punish. When I land a heat engager, I can go into crouch, right? Just like Anna. And I can mix with while standing 2 or house sweep. It's a strong mix. Back free when I'm in heat is a backswing blow that's +5 on block. That ain't bad. Even with everything I've shown you here, he is probably one of the weakest characters in this game. Because it's just because everyone is so solid, right? But is he a bad, unplayable character? Absolutely not. You can beat the shit out of anyone with this character. So yeah, I guess I just wanted to get that out there. That good old Devil Jin still has a lot of stuff he can do, right? So now we're on Miary Zove. She has huge frames and counter hits and really mix up. And mix up, yes. So Miary is designed to be easy all round. But when you look at her heat mix-ups, her frames, her lows, her range, to me, it's all just worse than the stuff we see on the other characters. It's a character where you can get good at her, you can specialize on Miary. In Miary, maybe, inside Miary. Oh, the little waifu. If you become a Miary specialist, you can beat anyone, but I don't think anyone who plays this game at the highest level disagrees that she is very fair. Like, everything is quite punishable. She lacks tracking on a lot of stuff, stubby range on a lot of stuff. And have you seen her backdash? Like, it's the worst in the game. I shit you not. It's the worst in the game. And she has no, like, bullshit tools, as far as I'm concerned. The reason she beats you and beats me is that we see her so rarely that we're like, oh, right, she's in the game. What did she do again? That's literally why I lose to her and most people. I mean, I like her. She's grown on me a lot. I mean, not due to this, but it's more like I appreciate the gameplay. I appreciate that it is very basic, and when we in Season 2 got used to, like, super overwhelming bullshit offense, she was a breath of fresh air, I felt. So, very honest character. And Panda and Kuma are largely the same character. So the last character I'm going to talk about is Kuma. And again, Kuma is at the bottom of this list. But you'll note that Kuma does well in tournaments. That's why I'm saying, like, everyone is solid. And please just ignore tier lists. Kuma was seen as the weakest character in Tekken 7. He was. Him or Gigas. And then Rangchu won in 2018, Tekken World Tour, in Tekken 7. He beat everyone. He became, like, legit the world champion. Playing Kuma. Kuma was weaker in that game, by the way. I'm not joking. In this game, he has this. This, right? And this. Like, in Tekken 7, he had fuck all. He had nothing. And Tekken 7 had a character called Akuma. Geese Howard. Season 1, Dragunov. Like, Season 1, Steve. Rangchu smoked everyone playing this character. And Tekken 8 is a better balanced game than Tekken 7. Significantly better balanced. So I'm just saying, even though I put Kuma towards the bottom of everything here in Panda, don't get caught up in tier lists. It's all up to you and the effort you put in as a player. If you play Devil Jin or Kuma and you're good enough as a player and you learn to optimize these characters, you can beat anyone with strong mind games. Kuma, when we look at it, black and white, the tools are just weaker than other characters. Like, even Rangchu will rely a lot on this mix-up, like hunting bear stance down for the 1, like this. That will wall splat, but even in the neutral, he relies a lot on this to mix opponents, because he doesn't want to do this big bear sweep, because it gets him killed. So instead, he wants to mix with down for the 1 here, and this untakeable throw that's unseeable. Eesh! And this removes recoverable health. So this is a mix that's used a lot by Kuma players. They'll try and set this up by doing while running 1+2. Like on block. Oh, sorry. Like this. And then they apply the mix. Back for 2 is arguably his best move, I think. It's a high that does damage on chip. As you can see, 10 damage on block. Knockdown, wall splat, tracks a lot. counter hits for like 1,000,000 damage. Like, I shit you not, it's like 1,000,000 damage. And then, like, in the neutral, he can get 100 damage. And then the bear G-Clef, 1-1-1, launch. Very punishable, though, because if he stays at 1-1, he's minus 15. It's the most punishable G-Clef in the game, by a mile. 1-1, launch punishable. 1-1-1, launch punishable. Still has a safe low, and, like, down for 1. Full crouch down for 1 is minus 8. So that's a safe low in that. That's kind of cute. +2 on hit. But again, if this is ducked, he dies. Can do charge up shenanigans, right? These can be challenged, but most people just block this stuff. In season 1, he was OP because he had way more chip damage, and his heat smash had way more tracking. If the heat smash is still crazy, it's 13 frame startup, it's evasive, it hits grounded, it does a lot of damage, but you can't step it now. In season 1, you couldn't step it. And Bear Godfist was broken in season 1, it's not anymore. They nerfed this, it's no longer plus, and it pushes back now. So that was nerfed. But they nerfed the shit out of hunting bear down for the 1. This throw used to give guaranteed ass. That was guaranteed, but they removed that. Rightfully so, he got nerfed, right? But what remains is a character that's not that good, but still competitive. You can still win with him. Also has to be said that Kuma doesn't have a sidestep. Same goes for Fahkumram, bad sidestep, Jack, bad sidestep, but on Kuma it's extreme. There is no sidestep pretty much. So characters, there are certain characters obviously that love that. Like Kazuya, are you gonna step my hell sweep now? Like Kuma can barely do it, you know? So a lot of matchups in this game do require, you know, specific sidesteps, but Kuma can't do it. So a bit of a sitting duck bear, which forces him to throw his power crush a lot, which is strong, but you know, at minus 13, knockdown, hits grounded, wall splats. And this is a cute, you know, flow chart Kumas like to do. They do this into this, but that can be stepped, of course. You can step for power crush. And of course in heat, he likes doing, he has, that's a mid launcher, that's launch punishable. Guard break is the 1 button that guarantees 4-1 for a wall splat. Again, like so. But this is, like, both of these options are launch punish though. If you duck the guard break, he dies. Yeah, so at the end of the day, Kuma can't be said to be very strong, you know. Åh, Willem, vad har du byggt nu? Okay, so now Willem has built... Är det fortfarande en brandstation? It's still a fire station full of firemen. But so, that was my tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the longest tier list recording I have ever done, but it's just because, I don't know, I feel like I have a little bit of a new mentality on the game. I've changed my opinion on a lot of characters. I mean, God knows I know a lot about Tekken, you know, having played the game for 30 years, but I'm still learning, and I'm just at a point where I'm like, I'm gonna become the #1 Kazuya now. Like, you might laugh, but like, that's the goal. And I'm like, I'm having fun working towards it. And it means every day when I'm playing in ranked, when I lose to something, I just go, how do I beat this? That's all I care about. I don't really get annoyed much anymore, which is incredible, right? Coming from me. But I actually just go, how is this beaten? And I don't mind losing at all. Because the losses to me are just like, what do I learn from this loss? How do I become better? I'm going to become #1. And I'm going to learn every single thing there is to learn in this game. So every single matchup I've had slightest issue with, I'm just learning everything that's been problematic for me before. So with this tier list, I just wanted to give every character, you know, a couple of sentences, a couple of minutes for you to understand how they play, what makes them strong, what's their identity, what are the weaknesses, why do I put them in a particular tier. And I'm quite happy with this tier list, but again, take it with a grain of salt. There's a couple of characters you could throw around even now a little bit. Maybe he goes there, she goes there. But in general, I think this gives you a solid foundation of what it looks like. But just remember that this is in theory. You see how I put Fahkumram towards the bottom? And I love playing Fahkumram. He's a super efficient character. He's one of the highest win ratio characters. He is, even at God 6, I feel like he and Kuma have a highest win ratio. And you see him a lot in tournaments. And why do you do that? Because he's easy, and his game plan with the blender and neutral skip is so easy to enforce. And it doesn't matter that you're super punishable when everyone is so stressed playing against your character. So don't get too caught up in who is top tier and who is quote-unquote bottom tier. You know, because there is no bottom tier in this game. It boils down to how efficient are you at playing your character and enforcing their game plan. And that even goes for a character like Kazuya that I play, or Reina. If you are good enough at playing that character, they are super efficient. So, yeah, that was my tier list. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't yap on for too long. I hope I didn't bore you. And I hope to see you on the next video. Take care.